Jesus is the Catholic Messiah. He was born a Jew. He prayed to God. Do anti-Semitic Catholics have a problem with Jesus or God when they die? The answer shocked me. AI responded, yes. From a Catholic theological perspective, anti-Semitic Catholics have a profound inconsistency and thus a serious spiritual problem with both Jesus and God. Catholic belief holds that every soul faces particular judgment by Christ himself immediately after death. Unrepented grave sins, such as deliberate, sustained hatred, separate a person from God. Jesus explicitly commanded, love thy neighbor and love your enemies, with no ethnic exception. Want to get it off your chest? You're in the right place. They accuse this show of being run by boobs. Well, let me tell you about us boobs. We're real and we're spectacular. Want politics and fun sprinkled with a lot of laughs? Heard in every state in the Union and 1,000 cities around the world. We just finished 17 years of broadcast excellence. Now in our 18th year. The Dave Weinbaum Show is streaming live all over the world. Anti-Semite who dies clinging to that hatred is rejecting implications of loving the very people with their Messiah, his mother, the apostles, the scriptures, and the root of where their faith came. They will stand before a Jewish Jesus praying to the God of Israel while having violated the core of his teaching. Mercy and repentance are always possible until the end, but the contradiction is baked into the belief system. Anti-Semitic Catholics are theologically incoherent with the faith they claim. The church has said for decades, rationalizing this does not bend. God, not humans, does the final judging. Hi there. My name is Dave Weinbaum. Welcome to the Winebomb Show. I didn't have a show last week. We had a tragedy in our family. The death of Jason Ross, and it was a terrible situation, and we've been having meetings and dinners, and finally he was eulogized to the point to where they finally buried him. And he was a minister of God, and we loved him. And he was great. You know, we have a mixed family. It's Jewish and it's Christian, and we've gotten along well, and we take care of each other. Everybody is mixed in. Jason was married to my daughter, my granddaughter, Emma, and they had a little baby just about 2 months ago. And she's Ruth Ross, and both families are devastated, obviously. The people at Green Tree Church did a great job. They did a great job at the cemetery as well. And he was a minister in the making, was Jason. In fact, we have one clip we can play before JJ, but we do have a great show. JJ Bradshaw's on at 8:07. I have the exact people on at the same spot that I was going to have just before we heard of Jason's demise. JJ Bradshaw, Rabbi Moshe Rothschild calling from Israel, Pastor Pat, who's going to give us a lot of information about things like this, Richard Jeffries, and Mark and Pat McCloskey. So hit it.
There's we have 3 clips of Jason. Do you have one in particular you want to play?
Just play the first.
Yep.
And we'll play second and third as they come.
Yep.
Bad for us. But I don't know if you guys have watched The Passion of Christ, the movie. I think it's the closest thing you can visually see to understand what they did to him. And I just placed myself in his feet. And, I have the movie flashing through my eyes. And at first I'm like, I'm there praying. And then my best friend comes, betrays me, hands me over to authorities. At least one of my friends fight for me, but the rest run away. Then they drag me to the temple court. They spit on me, accuse me, curse me, horrible things. One of my other best friends denies me in front of everybody. I don't even know that guy.
Okay. So we're back, and in about a minute, I'm expecting JJ. In fact, very shortly, I expect JJ Bradshaw. And we're going to have a lot of things come up. We've got clips on from the rabbi. The last time the rabbi got on the phone, a siren went off right at the end of the interview from the government of Israel that they had to go to the shelters. They're still at war there. It's just incredible. It looks like the war is somewhat extending. Trump claims that we just blew up a big bridge in Iran. We've got Bondi is not there anymore. She's no longer the director of operation for the department, for the Justice Department. She's not there. Well, they left on a friendly basis. Let's put it that way. And she is going to be doing something else. So they're not hating each other. But I think Trump was a little bit dissatisfied with the amount of stuff that she needed to get done. So, okay, whatever happens. And by the way, now we have our first guest. And he is, he's 257 years old, just 7 years older than the country, the United States of America. And he was part of the group that made up the Constitution. He used to hang out at Virginia bar, with Washington and Jefferson and Franklin. And they used to pick up, pioneer women. But he is a brilliant guy on, especially the Constitution. Please welcome, all the way from his car, JJ Bradshaw.
Morning, Dave.
Good morning, JJ. And how are you today?
I am just great. I'm at an undisclosed location, so the terrorists can't catch up with me.
Okay, well, I was going to suggest that, but
I'm here bright and shiny and ready to talk about some stuff.
well, let's do that. Yeah, I'm here. I don't know how bright and shiny I am. And
We
by the
talk
way,
about Pam Bondi first.
yes, let's hear.
You're ready for that?
I'm ready. Sure. Go ahead.
Hello?
Yes, hello? No. No, this doesn't happen. Okay, well, we got plenty to talk about. I'm always ready for that kind of stuff. So, it is what it is. As I like to say, it is what it is. Da 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 da. Okay, is he back? He looks like he's back.
Yeah, let's try it again.
All right.
That's
Okay.
what I get for
What'd you
sitting
do?
in a
Knock over
McDonald's parking lot.
Did you knock over the table or something like that? Did you step on the gas?
Nah, I'm sitting in a McDonald's parking lot, and I think it's a vast right-wing conspiracy by McDonald's to shut me up.
So now you've sort of narrowed where you're at.
Yeah, not in Rolla.
You're sitting there incognito. No one needs to know where you're at. And I just said you're at a McDonald's.
I am.
Let me ask you a question. Is it one of the Weinbaum McDonald's?
It is not.
Oh, okay. Traitor.
Yes,
That's all right.
I should be ashamed of myself.
That's McDonald. That's all right. All right.
Let's briefly talk about Pam Bondi. That made a big splash the other day.
Yes, sir.
And anytime the network news folks make a big deal out of something, which they have made a big deal out of Pam Bondi's getting fired, I'm always suspect. I don't trust these guys any further than I could throw them. So I always look a little past that to see what the facts actually are. And I think I've discovered some nuances there. The network folks are making out like Trump thought Bondi was doing a terrible job, not fast enough, not qualified for being our attorney general. And I disagree with that. I think Bondi was doing a pretty damn good job. Trump was not happy with the Epstein release, but let's face it, there was a ton of stuff that had to be read through and redacted to try to protect the innocent. The gal had a hell of a job in front of her, and she had a big staff working on that.
Well, her mistake was that she said she had it all, and it's ready to go, and then it never came. That was the problem she had, is she overcooked it.
The way she put it, though, was somebody asked if they had the Epstein's client list, and she said, there is a pile of it on my desk. She never said, I have a client list. Apparently there wasn't one, or at least one that anybody could find. So I think she was taken a little out of context, but let's look at the last 6 or 7 months. DOJ has done a tremendous job. Not only at Epstein, but looking into Jan 6, looking into a whole myriad of things that were done badly by the last administration. And I think she was trying to set a lot of that right. So in her
defense, I'll tell you what, we've got McCloskey coming on.
I want to hear what he has to say.
See, he's very well connected to this, being the lawyer for the 1-6ers, and that's one of his issues.
Yes.
With Trump, is that they're not doing enough for these people that were incarcerated without their rights being given, just thrown in jail for, a year or two, and then also not even being in the building of the FBI or going to the bathroom. I mean, the building of the Capitol, or going to the bathroom, helped there and pointed to by DC police.
Yeah.
And so they have, and these people, a lot of them have been ruined because of this.
Of
ruined
course.
Financially, they lose their jobs. They become punished by people where they live.
We're on the same page with this, Dave. Okay. We are on the same page.
So he is mad about that. I think he's got an issue. Go ahead.
Well, he's a lawyer. He does understand that these things grind along horribly slowly. And I think they're trying to do the right thing. I think DOJ is looking into the Jan 6 debacle and saying, these people need to be made whole. Terrible injustice was done by the Biden administration. And let's not forget Nancy Pelosi, who I would like to see rot in hell. This is going to take some time. And there isn't a lawyer around that is willing to go to trial without enough information and enough evidence to win. They all want to win. Sure. So, this thing's going to take some time. But I think frankly, I'm a Bondi supporter. I think she did as good a job as was likely to be done. If you look at past attorney generals, and I mean, look at the list of losers that we've had in that position during the Obama years and the Biden years, is one loser after another. And they're folks that really didn't have justice in mind at all. They politicized the whole thing.
Well,
So
they were using government as a political
a
weapon
tool, yeah,
to
absolutely right.
to jail people like Donald Trump and ridiculous things like what Alan did.
Dershowitz,
No, not Alan Dershowitz. It was the guy in New York I was thinking about, and Letitia James.
Nisha James, yeah.
Yeah, and so that was just they got to get back at these guys, and they got her. I mean, I heard there's been issued some subpoenas and stuff for them to answer, and there could be charges coming. I don't know whether they are there or not, but I think that's part of it too. I think Trump is trying to adjudicate these people who tried to ruin him, who tried to ruin the country by ruining him.
These things grind along horribly slowly, Dave, but that's where justice comes from.
That's what I tell people, but Trump is not a patient guy sometimes. And when he wants things done, did you see him at the Supreme Court yesterday?
I did see a clip of that. It was good.
Oh my gosh.
I think the Supreme Court. I think that the justices didn't know how to handle that. This is the first time a sitting president has ever showed up at the court. And I don't think they knew what to do. I think they were a little taken aback.
What did Trump do when they went to the SOTU, the State of the Union address? And the judges were all there. What's the difference?
Well, nothing, actually.
Yeah.
Speaking of Trump, let's talk about that Wednesday night speech. I'm sure you watched every bit of it, as did I.
Yeah.
And it was kind of a nothing burger in a way. It
was very strategic.
He didn't say the things that I would have wanted him to say, but let's look into that a little bit.
Yeah.
Trump claims that Iran is negotiating. Iran claims that Iran is not negotiating.
Right.
We look at their president, Masoud Pezeshkian, and I'm sorry I butchered that name, but I don't speak Farsi, so I don't know much about that.
You better look him up and see if he's still alive.
Well, yeah. Now, we've still got, and this guy's been president for a while. We've got Mohammed Ghalibaf, who's still leading the parliament. He's one of the old school guys. Abaf I can't pronounce it. Foreign policy guy. He's still one of the old school guys.
Yeah.
So we've still got some of their, quote, leadership that are intact, at least as of this morning. They may vanish anytime soon. But it looks like the hardcore is still there. And Gina and I were having a conversation the other day, and every time you kill one of these guys, there's another true believer that steps into the fore. And you go ahead and kill him, and there's another one behind him. I don't know what
they're going to need more virgins, quite frankly.
I think there's not enough virgins. Remember, they're all homosexual men, so let's not forget about
reminding all of us of that. Thank you.
I think all of them.
That was a great addition to the Dave Weinbaum Show, by the way.
Well, by the way, Muhammad really screwed them when it comes down to it. He didn't bother to mention in the surahs that these were all guys. So good luck. I hope there's some big burly hairy ones in there.
You're dragging that one out big time.
So Donald Trump has said, and he said so publicly and repeatedly, that if you guys don't come to the table, that is the leadership of Iran, whoever they might be in this moment, if you don't come to the table, the next thing we're going to do is bomb 100 or so power plants and put you all in the dark. Yeah. And right after that, we're going to start bombing your oil infrastructure. We're fixing to take everything that makes you a civilized country and turn it dark. I'm sure the people of Iran, the Persians in Iran, are saying, we really need to not do this. And I'm sure the hardcore leadership are saying, yeah, go ahead. We'll lob a few missiles at you, blah, blah, blah. Stubborn, ignorant bunch that they are.
Well, most of the country is they've taken away the internet and they're starting to bring it back now. But some of these people don't know what the hell's going on.
Well, I'm sure they're talking to each other.
This is as reported by Fox News. They've killed about 50,000 civilians since I don't know exactly, but maybe a month or so.
Yeah, I heard 43,000, but I'll spot you 50.
Oh, well, that's what they say. Let's say somewhere between 40 and 50,000. It's a lot of people just for going out to protest your government.
And you are killing your own civilian population. That's the key to this.
Well, this is not it's like a two-country deal because these are the Persians,
Yes.
the original Asian Persians, and then you've got the mullahs who comprise 20% of the population and are very unpopular. So they're from the Shia side of the Muslim world.
Yeah.
And so they don't like the other Muslims even.
Yes, Shias and Sunnis don't like each other.
That's right.
Talk about anti-Semitic. Well, there we go. But it strikes me that these folks have been able to hang on as long as they have. Their Navy is at the bottom of the sea. Their Air Force is decimated. Their capability of producing missiles and nuclear fissile material is gone. We're wiping out their deep stocks, deep underground missile storage with bunker buster bombs. Drop one, drop another, drop another, drop another until you've pounded this thing until it's all collapsed. So I would say their military capability is down near zero. And one would think that there would have been a revolution by now by the Persians to overthrow.
There was back in about 2012, JJ, and I know because I was talking.
They killed them all.
Wait a minute, I was talking to a gal about this. I met Pamela Geller, and she was there with David Horowitz and stuff like that at the CPAC, and it was about 2012, and so I got to meet her. And we started talking, and she says, this thing going on in Iran, my people are giving me a lot of information. I said, what do you mean, your people? He says, well, I know a lot of the people there.
Yeah.
And she says, it looks like they're letting the government walk all over these people, especially the women, who didn't want to wear the burqas.
Yeah.
So that's been going on for a long time, and they hate the fact that Jimmy Carter gave the mullahs this country.
Well, that was weak on Jimmy Carter's part. The hostage situation there was handled very badly. Rather than negotiate with these folks, he should have sent the bombers over there and said, we'll stop when you release these folks. Yeah. But he didn't do that. He was a lousy president. He's a good Christian and a good human being, but a lousy president.
Reagan made a big mistake, too, in my opinion, back in 1982 when Hezbollah was just formed. They bombed a place where 241 U.S. soldiers were murdered by
the Marine barracks. Yeah,
he didn't do anything about it.
Well, here was the problem with that. I'm a Ronald Reagan supporter, and the fact is, he had a Congress that would never have declared war. Never.
Have they declared war right now?
No.
Okay,
but that was a different era, Dave.
There's a lot of times that people go to war. Even Washington, did he have the whole backing of the United States? Did they vote on it?
No, he didn't. But the point is, though, Reagan was a strict constitutionalist, and presidents since him have not been, and including Trump. He's not a strict constitutionalist. So
he's fighting the Supreme Court on it.
Yeah, Trump has got 60 or 90 days. before he has to present this to the Congress. I think it's 60 days. Well, this war will have come and gone by now.
Oh,
But as long
hopefully.
as we're talking about our Congress, let's talk about what a weak and puny Congress that we have. Uh, what a pack of losers.
Yeah.
These guys can't even pass the SAVE Act, which is something that has gotten 80% positive reviews from the Democrats and 95 plus from the MAGA folks. You've got the civilians in this country that want this thing passed, and our stinking loser Congress can't get it done. They're sitting there doing the silly political dance instead of taking care of the country's business.
Well,
So, John,
they just set another record for closing down the government.
well, yeah, John Thune, don't like him much. Chuck Schumer, absolutely disgusting human being.
Well,
He will rot in hell before it's all done. But what a pack of losers. Now, who are the folks that ultimately lose? Well, it's you and me, the citizens of this country, who have a Congress that is not willing to take care of business. Look how long they've been dancing around the SAVE Act and can't manage to get it passed. They won't. They won't get rid of the.
It's a civil war of these both of Congress, because the Democrats are trying to steal elections. That's all it is.
The Democrats.
They're against it. Why would they be against it? Because they want to cheat.
Of course they want to cheat. They want to remain in power forever. And as a matter of fact,
if the public to understand this,
if the Democrats win in the midterms, without the SAVE Act in place, we'll never have another election. They will all be rigged. Sure. So this is a big deal.
They'll probably stop having elections. Why do you need them?
This is a big deal, Dave, which is why the Congress has disgusted me so much. I'm turning into an anti-Congress guy because they are not taking care of the business of the country.
Should they filibuster? I mean, we're not anything short of another revolutionary war or a civil war. What should Congress do?
All right. John Thune is not willing to kick out the filibuster. He could. He's got the votes to do that.
Do we want to do the filibuster?
Well, the problem is if he kicks the filibuster out, the first thing the Democrats are going to do is kick it out again when they get power.
Yeah.
So it's a non-starter. By all means, let's get the Congress back to a 51 vote instead of the 60. It used to be a 2/3 majority. Now it's 60 instead of 66. The point is, this train wreck of a Congress that we have is not getting the business of Congress done. They're kicking each other. They're lambasting each other. They're getting on the television saying the other guys are bad guys, but they are not taking care of business. And the latest compromise that they had, which I am absolutely against, is the House of Representatives buying into the Senate proposal, which funds everything except ICE, and it does fund DHS after a fact. This is bad legislation. This is badly done. And if Mike Johnson buys into this in the House, I will lose all respect for him. It's time for the GOP and the MAGA Republicans to dig their heels in and say, no mas, we are not going to go along with anything you Democrats propose. You want to leave the government shut down for the next millennia, fine, until you give in. Because what's happening right now is the Democrats are looking worse and worse and worse going into the midterms. I'm not sure they're electable in a fair election.
Well, they shouldn't be.
No, they shouldn't be.
But, they've got crazy people following them. They're going to get their vote, the crazy people.
Well, the crazy ones, yeah. But, there's a whole lot of moderate Democrats out there. And I really wish I had the pulse of that group of people, but I do not. I guess I'm too far right. Let's talk for a minute about J.D. Vance.
Yeah.
J.D. Vance has been appointed by the president to be the fraud king. He's going to be the guy that weeds out fraud. And He's going to have Colin McDonald actually doing the day-to-day stuff for anti-fraud division. I saw, now this is unverified, Dave. I only got one source from this one. I ran out of time. But supposedly there are 70 hospice and home health operations. They didn't say where these were. That might be nationwide. That has perhaps $250 billion in fraud that they're in the process of shutting down. And
You're talking about California now that they found?
well, they weren't specific. This might be nationwide. This might be Minneapolis. It might be California. I do
Well,
not
they've already
know.
figured out Minneapolis, I think.
Well, that was 9 billion. This may be 250
Yeah,
billion.
that sounds like what they found in California under Newsom.
Now, if you look at the previous administration, going back to Obama and certainly the Biden know nothing, do nothing, got no brains administration that turned their head the other way and said, nah, there's nothing to see here. Let's look at Tim Walz, who said, nah, there's nothing to see here.
Yeah.
And you got folks that are digging into this thing and
Well, he
saying,
said,
wait a minute.
I'm working on it. I'm working on it. Yeah, it's like 12 years old already that you're working on it. You weren't even governor then.
People that are actually, that don't have a dog in this fight, that are looking into this stuff saying, wait, hold on. There are tremendous drains on our economy that are happening here with no accountability at all.
Right.
So the fact that Vance has been appointed to look into that, hallelujah. I will pray for you. I hope that you do a good job because this really needs to stop.
You're right. All right.
I am right.
JJ, you're a great friend, and I love you, my good man, and you have a great weekend. Thanks for calling in again with an excellent amount of information. Let's hear it for John Jeffrey Bradshaw.
Thank you so much,
Thank
Dave.
you, JJ. We'll see you next week.
It will happen. Good day.
Okay, thank you, my friend. All right, we've got a couple of things up there. I guess it's not. We are not going to do a commercial until the rabbi gets over. Is that all right?
We have time.
We do?
We got 8 minutes.
Well, no, we don't.
Rabbi coming on 8:40.
8:35.
Oh, he's 8:30. Oh.
How do you know about the schedule? Yeah. You only have it there. So what the hell?
Apparently, I missed that on the notes. So.
Yeah. Okay. I'm feeling a little. I don't know. It's the honey or something. Yes, you honey. It's the honey or something that's getting me to a little bit more cognizant. Maybe. What are you doing? Oh my God, she's gonna freeze us out. Yeah. Yeah, fans are usually warm to their heroes. They don't freeze them and eat them later.
If you're cold, I'll take it off.
And I think he's coming back. Is that Jeffrey? Is that Rabbi, or he's just messing around over there?
He hasn't exited out yet. So
yeah. So I don't know if I welcomed Rick Henderson on the show and JP Maxwell. Did I introduce you? I don't think I did that because my wife she threw me off. She lost her phone, which is probably the 10th time this morning, and I'm
having trouble.
What's the matter?
On things today. It's just,
why? Just the last week?
Spent.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. She's
been a rough.
We're all dragging here just a bit. I mean,
thank you, JP, for coming.
Yeah, JP came to the services.
Also,
and
I'm going to miss that.
That's pretty interesting that you belong to a different church than your mom actually is.
Yeah.
So is she okay with that?
I think so. Yeah. I just felt like I was called to go somewhere else at that time. So
okay.
Yep. Been going about 8 years now.
Well, it's a good church, and they're good people, great people in it. And I think they understand the Jewish thing. I don't know. I'm sure they would be thrilled if we turned into Christians and all that, but it's not going to happen with me or Aaron. I don't think
we're supportive either way. So
yeah, yep. And your mother is the one who got me the rabbi in the first place. So, and she knows where he stood. And this is 18 years ago or so. So I'm feeling pretty good about that. So, and the rabbi, maybe he didn't get the message about 8 Well, it isn't 8:35 yet, is it? No.
One more minute.
No.
I just want to say thank you for everybody who's outreached and shared condolences and prayers. We really appreciate all of it for the family. And we're sorry we didn't get to talk to everybody yesterday.
There were a lot of people.
Yeah, there were. And we just kind of finally sat down.
Well, here's a story that kind of went away, and that's Nancy Guthrie's mom. And so Nancy Guthrie, Savannah, is that her name? The gal? I don't know.
So Savannah Guthrie is the media personality, and Nancy Guthrie is her mom.
That's okay. Missing, yeah. So apparently they're giving it up, I guess. I don't know. She's 84 and she's been gone for what, 2 or 3 months? Wow. So Meta and YouTube were found liable for $6 million for harming children. And that's going to be appealed. That's going to be interesting. Let's see. Well, up until recently, we're still blowing away drug boats in the Caribbean. I wonder what's going to happen in Cuba and all the other places that possibly could be American states. Cuba. Why wasn't that, that should have been a state a long time ago. And then we're going to maybe go to Mexico. What's to stop Mexico from being a state? Even 2 states, you could break it up into,
I don't know how that. I mean, there's always a process for adding more states. They just have to be agreeable.
So, El Salvador.
I don't know what.
El Salvador and Venezuela.
So I don't know, like for Mexico, if that country has a constitution. I'm assuming they do. Like what that says about forming another country or becoming part of another one. I don't know what their government says.
Well, if they have people like the cartels that are sending drugs to this country, especially the ones that kill people, then they could be asking for it. And I think she knows that. And the cartels know that. And I think they're trying to work it out between her being assassinated and either them pulling back or whatever. But there's billions and billions of dollars with this. And obviously the Democrats have reason not to want this. The Democrats, I believe, are in concert with the cartels. I believe they are partners. After all, they're not just shipping drugs. They are taking children and trafficking them, taking women and trafficking them. And I think the Democrats have a hand in this. So, that's another reason for them to stay in power and not have is it the Just Act? Is that what it's called? The Voting Act? The Just Act? I forget.
Save Act.
Save Act. Okay. So ICE now is at the airports, and incredibly, they're going in without masks, and they're saving people. They're saving little kids in there. Little kids are having trouble. So, see, now the rabbi is late, I believe. And I'm wondering, once again, he must think it's back to 8:40 or something, Everybody's getting out of line here. All right, why don't we start commercials and we'll break him up if he shows up, okay? Yeah, why don't we do that?
Honey, what are you doing?
What does it look like I'm doing?
It looks like you're filling up a swimming pool.
Yep, I'm filling up a swimming pool.
In our living room?
How else am I going to watch the game and stay cool?
If your AC is on the fritz, call Hartley's Climate Control. Hartley's is the area's best in HVAC repairs, installs, and maintenance. Knowledgeable, honest, and dependable. Serving Rolla and the surrounding areas for commercial or residential needs. Hartley's Climate Control. Community born, community raised, community serving.
Call Hartley's Climate Control today at 573-368-3163.
Never be too coy to tell your friends and family about koi sushi and hibachi. Celebrate the best Chinese-Japanese restaurant in the Midwest. Call 573-426-5551 to make a reservation or order takeout. Locally owned, 1808 North Bishop, Rolla, Missouri.
We can sum up McDonald's new crispy chicken sandwich in one word. Crispy. But also juicy and tender. Okay, it's crispy, juicy, tender. All one word. But then, also pickle. Oh, and potato bun, which is two words. Okay, we can't sum up our new crispy chicken sandwich in one word, so you'll just have to try it to understand it. Order ahead on the McDonald's app at participating McDonald's. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Merrill's Quarry and Asphalt, 40 years serving cities, counties, and everyday businesses with driveways for people who live and work in our little piece of heaven right smack dab in the middle of America. Call 573-578-9101 for your free estimate of rocking, rolling, paving, driveways, sealing, and striping too. That's 573-578-9101 for your free estimate.
Your home is your castle. You don't need unwanted hassle. Don't let those creatures move in to stay. Let us protect your investments. That's what we're all about. Plank Termite and Pest Control will save the day.
Plank is locally owned and family operated right here in Rolla, a Google preferred business. Our customer service and your satisfaction is our number one goal. So call Plank today at 368-3333.
Plank Termite and Pest Control will save the day.
At your locally owned Price Chopper, our standards are high because we know yours are. See for yourself what an incredible fresh selection of grocery items we have in store. Talk to our expert meat associates about what you're looking for. They're happy to meet any special requests like custom cuts, or see our expert produce associates on how to pick out the best fruits and vegetables. Quality in the deli means fresh, full flavor, and always delicious. If you're craving fresh baked goodness, we have that too. You can expect the best selection and the best value while interacting with our friendly and knowledgeable employees. You can find what you're looking for fast and easily at the best prices at Price Chopper. Fresh savings every day. Okay, shocker here. We have a gentleman from Israel, I believe. He's a very studious man. He's got a lot of books behind his head. Probably doesn't even know they're there. He is a wartime rabbi. He's fighting anti-Semitism all over the world. He's putting IDF widows and their kids into houses with our contributions. Please welcome all the way from Israel, Rabbi Moshe Rothschild. So what time did you think you were supposed to be on today?
Right now.
Okay, I didn't send you a 8:35 notification.
It's 8:35 in Israel.
You lie like a rock. No, you're not. You can't be a rabbi and expect people to be that stupid. Okay, and apparently you think of me very lowly because you think I'm stupid. Like I'll fall for that. Why is this war different than the war the USA has declared against Iran? You have a different schedule to run on in the United States, even though you are partnering in this other war with Iran, right? You have other issues,
right? Look, the issue of the Straits of Hormuz is less of an issue for Israel. We don't get our oil from that region, and it doesn't really affect us. So, for Israel, our main concern is the nuclear and the ballistic missiles. And so we're in a real, practical sense. fighting a war that literally affects us every single day in that sense, not from the oil perspective. I'm not even sure the price of gas went up here. It's, I think, stayed steady.
All right, we're gonna play a little bit that we got out of you. I think it could have been yesterday or a couple of days ago, but I want you to react to this, please.
Everyone knows the story of Palestinian refugees, but almost no one talks about.
My fault. Wrong
That's
one.
right.
I played the wrong one. And now I'm trying to find it. Where'd it go?
Oh, God.
Oh, wait. It's one on the show page, isn't it?
Yes.
It is.
I think so.
Do you need me to come on later?
Nope.
No, we need you to come on live. Get over here. Here, we got it, I think.
Yeah, I'm going to share the screen once I get it.
Okay. All right.
I actually got to get back to the little technical difficulties here.
Yeah, a little technical difficulties. So how's the family? Happy Passover. Happy birthday.
Thank you for the
By the way,
matzah.
birthdays. JP, do you have a birthday coming up?
Next Saturday.
Next Saturday. My wife is April the 7th. My son, Aaron, is April the 3rd. Today, happy birthday, Sonny boy. And there you are right there. Did you get it?
I'm going to share the screen so it'll actually
All right, good. So we're going to give you, this was all done, but we almost, this happened.
Zionism is simply the Jewish longing for a return to our homeland. The word Zion is a biblical word, Zion. That's how. Zionism is simply the Jewish longing for a return to our homeland. The word Zion is a biblical word, Zion. That's how it actually pronounced. And it's the longing of the Jewish people to return to our natural homeland. If you're an anti-Zionist, that's like saying I'm against the Bible. I am against the fact that the Jewish homeland, right, that Israel, Judea, belongs to the Jews. And God gave it to them. And their longing to return is illegitimate. That means you don't believe in the Bible, which means Zionism is.
Okay. So comment on that a little bit, because we're getting a lot of heat. And I know you're getting a lot of heat too on people who are saying really nasty and stupid stuff about Jews.
Right. First of all, most of the people that say nasty things, at least on my feeds, have been either Muslims or Christians who don't know the Bible, or people who are ignorant. Now, quite honestly, the largest group are the Muslims. But it's impossible to address someone that has hatred without it being, anything that they've thought about. In other words, it's just from their gut. It's just emotional, and there's nothing really to talk about.
Well, they're taught to be hateful, aren't they? Are they not?
Be logical, with someone. I actually did have a conversation last week with this young woman from Kentucky. She said she was told this and this about Jews, and it wasn't good things.
Yeah.
And
by whom?
And she wanted to know, what was the truth.
Who told her the stuff? Was it her parents or friends?
Around here. No, it wasn't her parents. It was like friends and this and that.
Yeah. Okay.
And so she said, I'm glad I spoke with you to get the truth, and this and that. But there aren't that many people like that.
You mean she believed you?
What's that?
You mean she believed you?
Yeah.
Okay.
The word Zionism is from the word Zion, which is in the Bible, and all it means, it's like saying an American is patriotic or someone has patriotism. All it means is the longing for the homeland of the Jewish people, that the Jewish people should have a place in their national homeland.
So was Jesus a Zionist?
Who?
Jesus, was he a Zionist?
Well, he lived here, so I wouldn't know if.
Would he want the best thing for the Jews?
Yeah. Look, Zionism, I would say, really begins when the Jews are exiled. And
Yeah.
when Jesus was alive, he was here.
Yeah, okay.
The temple was later destroyed, and then Jews went into exile and constantly saying next year in Jerusalem. So he would have been a Zionist had he lived after the destruction of the temple. He was certainly he was not a Palestinian. He was a Jew living in the land of Israel. But in any event, the longing for the return to our national homeland, that's what Zionism is.
Yeah.
And it's for someone to say that they're hateful towards Zionists means you're hateful towards the Bible. Also, another typical thing people say to me, you've heard, is that, oh, you consider yourself, the chosen people. They can get very angry, and I tell them it's
Right.
Look, don't blame me. Look at the book of Exodus. It's in the book of Exodus, and it's God that says it. You want to complain? Talk to the one who said it. Don't talk to me. I didn't make it up. It's in the Bible. And so if you don't read the Bible, then fine, you can have a complaint. But I'm not the one who made it up. And very often the haters out there are incredibly ignorant. And the most prophesied event in the entire Hebrew Bible, right? It's mentioned in almost every single book of the prophets, is the return of the Jewish people to the land. And so, what do you want to lie about that? It's like, okay, we hate the fact that the Jewish people are back in the land of Israel. You know what? Well, God predicted it. I didn't say it, so stop blaming me.
Well, Tucker Carlson wants to take blood out of your wife's family coming back in from Poland after a century of being kicked out. He wants to take her blood to make sure she's really Jewish. Do you believe that? He said that.
Tucker Carlson is a complete moron. He's completely trading in anti-Jewish, anti-Semitic stereotypes.
Is he a moron, or is it what? I can't figure it out. I met the guy once. He seemed like a nice guy. I don't understand.
Well, being nice and being a moron is, you can be a nice guy and be a moron. I actually think
so.
I don't think he's as smart as people say he is. I also think that he is intentionally. Look, there's been others that have jumped on the bandwagon. And if you look at some people, their YouTube channels, their podcasts, before they jumped on the bandwagon, and you look after, you will notice that they may have an episode with 10,000 hits, and after they started hating on Jews, they suddenly have 100,000 hits.
So it's profitable.
It's money. A lot of it's it's money. And did you read? Anything you read from Tucker Carlson, he complains about Jews. He's the one of Jew first, because all he talks about and all he thinks about is Jews. He doesn't think about America. Candace Owens, she's even worse. She is as dumb as dumb gets. She's not just not nice. She cannot. I don't even know if she can get any dumber when you read the things that she says.
Well, yeah, and there's absolutely no truth to almost everything she says, as far as I can tell. Yeah, and she was very pro-Jewish at a time, and worked for
Donald Trump,
Shapiro and Prager, and
Donald Trump
loved Donald Trump and such.
Donald Trump told her to sue the butt off all these people, and you know what her response is? Oh, now he's gone fully Jewish. That's a completely anti-Semitic comment. That's what she said when she heard that Donald Trump told Erica Kirk that she should be suing everyone who's. And so Candace's reaction is that
so the Jews made Donald Trump do that, huh? Wow.
No, she didn't even say the Jews made it. She said now Donald Trump is Jewish. He is fully Jewish. That's what she said. Meaning that's how a Jew is. A Jew just cares about money. A Jew just cares. That's a fully anti-Semitic comment. And saying the Jews made you do it would also be, but she said he has now become fully Jewish. That's
well, let me tell you about us Ashkenazi Jews. Are you an Ashkenazi Jew?
Yeah, of course.
Of course. Well, I don't know. There's a lot of different kinds.
Well, the Sephardic Jews who are from North Africa,
Yeah, right. We're supposed to be the smartest Jews around.
Yeah.
What happened to me? What happened, God? I don't know.
Yeah.
I've been hitting the head too many times.
You know what?
By my wife.
What is unbelievable is that there's
smart ass.
You're smart.
Smart ass, my wife.
And what really upsets me, I have to be honest.
Yeah.
I get very upset because I heard, there's a war going on now.
Right.
With Israel, Iran, and you have Passover, and
Right.
we're controlling the world. So I was very upset because the two committees, the one in charge of the war and the one in charge of Passover, are obviously not communicating with each other. And it's really not right. They have to communicate better. If one little Jewish committee that's creating the war, they have to communicate with the Passover people so that we have to coordinate things better. This is really not right. They should have waited.
Well, there's so many of you guys. There's so many of us out there. I can understand why they're so scared. I mean, we are actually 0.2% of the whole population of the world. 15 million people, maybe.
Did you see the clip from Joe Rogan?
I've seen a lot of clips from Joe Rogan.
Okay. Well, this clip went viral. God Saar was on the Joe Rogan show. God Saar is amazing. He's a professor from Montreal, very outspoken Jewish guy, very knowledgeable. And God Saar says to Joe Rogan, he goes, how many Jews do you think are in the world? And Joe Rogan says, well, let me think for a second. He goes, well, there's 7 billion people in the world. So I would guess that there's about 1 billion Jews, but I'm going to be conservative. He says, I'm going to be conservative. I'm going to guess 500 million. So God Saar says to him, well, he goes, you're going to be shocked. There's between 13 and 15 million.
Yeah.
So so Joe Rogan goes, shut the F up, turn this guy's mic off. He's a liar. And
Are you serious?
That's right. I'm just a shill for Israel. So Joe Rogan, he goes, let's Google it. Look it up. And he Googles it on the show, 14.5 million. He goes,
did he at least apologize for the guy?
Yeah. He was joking when he said that to God, but he couldn't believe it. He was stunned. The clip went viral.
It is really weird. I mean, it's kind of weird that we're
the most popular podcast in the world, and people believe that Jews control the world, and Jews this, Jews that, and so there's got to be 500 million at least. There's got to be. Then they find out there's 13, 14, 15 million Jews in the world. They're like, I'm like, are you joking? 360 million Americans and a little tiny Israel is controlling not only the United States, but controlling the whole world. It's like
we are special, folks. Yes, we are.
Yeah,
we've been getting our ass kicked for thousands of years, and we still come back.
Yeah,
we still pray.
It's it's like, and like, how are we doing that exactly? China wants to control the narrative. China wants to control the United States. So does Russia. So does Ukraine. They all want the United States on their side.
We find out that you schmucks up there are in control of the United States too, huh? Yeah, they found that out. Oh my gosh!
Every single time there's a conspiracy in America.
How come I'm not part of that?
No, it's like the Democrats when they say, "Oh, it's Russia controlling the United States. It's Russia. It's Russia. Oh, it's not Russia anymore. It's now Israel. Now it's Israel controlling." But for a while, they had that whole hoax that Russia was controlling the United States.
Well, that's even with all the Jews that are in the Democratic Party. I mean, Schumer. Your old buddy Schumer and guys like that. And then there's this guy up in Michigan, is it? Or I forget. His name is Shapiro.
Yeah,
he's Jeff Shapiro. Seems like a smart guy. He had his house burned down because he was Jewish, apparently.
It makes Americans and America sound so dumb when they constantly say Russia's controlling, Ukraine's controlling, Jews are like, are you guys so dumb that you're being manipulated? The most powerful country in the world, the richest country in the world, the most powerful military in the world, the most powerful open society in the world is saying you're being controlled by 7.5 million Jews in Israel.
Yeah,
it's not even 15.
Them being controlled by other people a lot of that can be proven by the fact that the millions and millions of dollars, maybe even $1 billion or so dollars that went into Hunter Biden's account and spread up around his family. They did control them, I believe, by bribes because of that situation. And Barack Obama giving Iran out of nowhere about $2 billion in a boat from taxpayers, and then basically kissing the ring of the the mullahs in Iran. That was something too.
Look, if you want to talk about control, the United States is controlling Israel in so many ways. You know how many wars we've stopped because America has told us to? Imagine how many things we've done because America says, hey, we're the ones selling you planes. You know, in 1967 war, we used to buy planes from France. We used to buy Mirage planes, and France said, okay, no more. Everyone's trying to control us. You know, this whole accusation that Israel, we're literally 7.5 million people here. That's not even as large as New York City.
There you go.
And tell me that we're control. It just,
and you're as big as New Jersey.
That's physically, but we're not even as big as the population of New Jersey.
Yeah, it's an incredible thing, and when you think about it, only God could do something like this. I mean, you couldn't do this on your own. You have to have God help us, and that's what we all need to call for, is listen to what He would do, because I'm sure He's guiding you, and sometimes you take the advice, and sometimes you don't. I mean, which advice would you rather have, Joe Biden or God?
Yeah, well, that's an obvious choice.
But he had power. He had the power to squeeze you guys, and I'm afraid that some of them.
So talk about control. Like, who wants to control who? You know, the United States is more controlling of America than here. Let me also say another thing that I hear in the hating is that. You know, sometimes they ask money to help with the widows, and people respond, "Oh, America gives you money. Don't they give you money?" America doesn't give us money for widows. America doesn't give us a blank check. What America gives to Israel is literally about between $3 and $4 billion, which I know sounds like a lot of money, but they give Egypt more than they give Israel. And that money they give, people don't realize this. I think 80 or 90% of the money that we receive has to be spent in the United States. Okay, we have to use the money and buy things from like U.S. military industries. So the money has to be used only for military and only buying money from U.S. military industries. So the money goes into 80-90% goes into the U.S. economy. It is not money that Israel can take and say, hey, I need to buy new cars for all the people in Israel, or we need to support widows in Israel. It doesn't even go to that. It only goes for military, and most of it spent.
No, it's not just that we're spending the money that they give us, or they give Israel. I say us because I consider myself, well, I'm a Jew. You know, I love being a Jew, quite frankly. Is there a song? I love being a Jew. Put that in Hebrew. Anyways, yeah, he's thinking too. I can tell. What was I asking? Is there any replications that we give to the United States other than buy their whatever they want us to buy? There's other things that we're doing for the United States. We're doing it right now in a war. That we have probably a better use of the Mossad than any CIA does in America. You've got where everything is in Iran and these other countries.
America is not.
What's that word? How many U.S. soldiers would have maybe died if you didn't give them the right spots and the right people to go after?
Right. Israel is not just a recipient of American aid. Israel is an ally, and it's a two-way street. And Israel, one could argue, is possibly America's best and most important ally. Who else is a more important ally to the United States? Canada, NATO. NATO's been a
Middle
disaster.
East has anything to do with the United States?
What's that?
Who in the Middle East? What is there?
Nobody.
A
No,
Muslim country
They
that
have
is
the
an
United
ally
States.
in the United States? Are they in
United-
NATO?
The United States has bases in the Middle East. They have in Qatar. They have, I think, in Turkey. But Israel is by far the most important ally, the only democracy in the Middle East, the only democracy in the Middle East.
Yeah.
And we're the one providing an enormous amount of intelligence, on the ground intelligence of what's going on in the most terroristic region in the world. We know what's going on in Syria. We know what's going on with ISIS. We know what's going on with Al Qaeda. We know what's going on with organizations that are dying to attack the United States.
Yeah.
And if you think that we haven't prevented the loss of American lives, you're just being foolish, or people are ignorant. They don't know what Israel does for the United States. Is that it's a two-way relationship. It's not simply. Also, another example is that when Israel gets military equipment from the United States, for example, planes, we use those planes in real time, in real wars, and we've operated them against Chinese anti-aircraft systems very successfully. And the United States enemies, like China, like Russia, right? That information of how to defeat Chinese anti-aircraft systems and Russian ones comes from Israel. The United States doesn't fly their planes against China.
It's worth billions of dollars, and it's worth a lot of humans in the United States who happen to be in the military.
Right. Yes. Look, and again, this is just the hating. It's things that we'll just throw out. Israel, we give you billions of dollars, but they don't even understand the relationship. Okay, but at least we have opportunities to express ourselves. In Germany, Jews did not. There's a lot of pushback. There's a lot of podcasters out there who are very pro-Jewish. There are a lot of voices out there that are, and thank God we're living in a generation where at the moment we still have the ability to respond.
Yeah, exactly. I wonder about that myself.
Well, you would not be on the air if this was in the 1930s, Dave. You would be. They didn't have Jewish radio stations or things like that, and it was forbidden.
Well, the 67 war. I've got a whole big clip of it from back then.
Yeah.
And that was I forget who the guys were in Egypt, and they were talking Nasser. Yeah, Nasser.
Yeah, Nasser.
And they all left the UN or something like that. They were getting together. We're going to take care of Israel. You're just going to beat them in the war. No, we're going to kill them. We're going to kill them all. And it became from the river to the sea.
Right. They
asked the guy from Saudi Arabia, the head guy in Saudi Arabia, and says, "You're just going to have a war, and you're going to be no, we river to the sea, and so it's always been kill the Jews and destroy Israel." And were the Israelis did they have a lot of equipment back there in 1967? Were they ready? No.
Right. We were not getting equipment.
They win? They beat 5 or 6 different Arab countries with full air forces, full navies. Okay.
Right.
Lots of soldiers, lots of ammunition, lots of guns. How did they beat them? How else? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And how are you doing lately since you decided that you're going to turn on these guys and you're going to kill them and make them give up?
Right.
And make them give back the hostages and things like that.
We're seeing miracle after miracle. It's like someone posts the Daily Miracle. Yesterday, I think there was a city here called Petach Tikva, Israel's second or third or fourth largest city. It got hit by a missile, was not intercepted, in a city with hundreds of thousands of people, and it landed right on the street, right in an open area between hundreds and thousands of people, not a single person killed. A massive populated area. Or this happens all the time. They land in open areas. Or it lands in an Arab town that's hostile to Israel. There's literally been probably, I think, less than 20 casualties, less than 15 casualties here in over a month of us receiving hundreds of rockets and missile fire, and many have gotten through. There have been a lot of damage, but as far as deaths, I went to a site of a city where the missile got through. I mean, and it landed like literally in between 4 buildings, like right in the middle, and I saw it. The devastation was unbelievable, but no one killed, not a single person.
See, that's incredible. And they're obviously going for civilians and things like that. So
there's no other way to explain it. There's no other way to explain it. It's just it's unreal.
Well, don't you have to go now? I thought it was Shabbat.
We did switch the clock, so I have a little bit more time. But
good. All right. Well, keep talking.
You can't tell, but I do need to take a shower. You can't tell on me.
Well, I took one yesterday. I didn't take
that wasn't even a laugh track. That was a real laugh. That was impressive.
Yeah. No, I wasn't laughing. They were.
That's why I said I have a face made for radio.
Yes. No. You're a stand-up comic, for God's sakes. Do you do that still or what?
And the place I used to go, the guy, he shut down. But I think he's
reopened. You were afraid you were going to come back or what?
Yeah, I don't know. It could be.
Yeah. Do you think I could have been a pretty good stand-up comic? I've done it before.
Yeah, you would have been like Stephen Wright, like a lot of great one-liners.
I used some of his stuff.
Yeah. I was walking home with my son the other day, and I said to him, why do we park on the driveway and drive on the parkway?
There you go.
And, that's a Stephen Wright line.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm thinking now. See, now I'm thinking I'm throwing my whole thing back in the humor, and I got nothing. I got something.
Let me get back to the calendars, Dave.
Yeah, my Lisa said to me, she says, "Did you call me a name?" I says, "No. At least not so you could hear it." There you go. But boom. There you go.
It's not funny.
It is funny. It is funny.
It's just real life.
Okay. That makes it even funnier.
Okay.
Come on.
You got to get her a mic.
Now, do you joke around with your wife? Do you tell jokes with your wife? And does she?
1 second. Let me see if she's here.
Well, I mean, she's liable to come back with jokes, and she comes back with funny stuff too. She's not the little defenseless little woman here.
Well,
my ass.
Well, I had a good joke the other day. I said a few funny jokes. I said I'm really on a roll. I said, but it's Passover, so I'm on a matzah.
By the way, thank you for the matzahs. What I did was I took it over for all these dinners we're having because of the funeral stuff. And somehow they disappeared. I mean, I ate a bunch of them, but I'm not sure. It was
How
over.
many come in a pack? How many are in there?
Well, there was a nice pack of them,
Yeah.
but there was like 20, 30 people there. So I don't know if they ate them all or what.
I think around there's like probably 7 to 10 in a box or something like that.
There was probably about 10 or so. I don't know. That was good though.
It's crunchy. Those are handmade round matzahs.
And they are had salt on them. I love that on crackers. They had salt on them.
Did they come with peanut butter also on it?
No, didn't. No. What? You shorted me on the peanut butter? You're gonna get paid back for that one.
They're crunchy.
Yeah. All right.
Put butter on.
So tell people what you do when you come to the United States, other than look me out, or what do you do?
What do I do?
What are you doing with the Christians all these times?
Well, I mean, when I originally started, we're talking about more than 10 years ago, right?
Yeah.
The idea was, building bridges and really focusing on cooperation and finding areas where we can work together instead of being focused on disagreement. Right?
You're talking about Christians and Jews.
Yeah, look, nobody needs me to tell anybody where there's disagreement, right? But where I do come in is to find where we can have some sort of alliance, some agreement, some areas where we, agree. And those are major. That's major. Yeah. That's significant. And so since the war, I've really been leaning on our alliance and leaning also on the Jewish community to work together to help here in Israel. That's really kind of been a lot of my focus since the war started. Instead of just only talking about how we can agree and how we can work together, I found a practical way. Like I still have online studies. So for example, before Passover, I had over 1,000 people signed up to my online study, of which 90% probably were Christians. And I think if we study together is a great way for people to
Are you doing this in all different languages or just Hebrew?
Well, it's in English. My classes are in English, and but I get no less than 1,000 people signed up, and I do it once a month, online. And so when we study common ground, the Hebrew Bible, we study it together, and so we find common ground. So that's the kinds of things that I'm focused on.
Oh, okay. So if I went and before you in class, do you give them a lot of homework?
No, I don't give any homework. I do put some people in the corner though if they don't behave.
Really?
But
get my wife come with me if I go into the corner somewhere.
I don't know about that, but
hey, I'm an old man. Come on, give me a break. Give me a break. But boom. Okay. Yeah. See, now he's getting with it.
There we go.
See, I mean, the Christians out here are really terrific. Okay. I'm a little concerned about the Catholics, though. And I've got one coming up. He's a good friend of mine. His name is McCloskey. He's an Irish Catholic. And he's good friends with Tucker Carlson, of all things.
Really?
We've had some really big conversations about that. We're going to have another one today. But he's a friend, and I'm trying to tell him. I says, what I'm saying is that those that who are anyway want to get to heaven according to even Jesus and God, you better not hate people that are like Jewish, like Jesus, and if you hit on the people like us who aren't anti-Christian, and you go before Jesus, it's sort of like they can't win because Jesus may not let them into heaven. So I'm trying to save all these Catholics. Seriously,
you're doing a good job, Dave.
No, I'm saying to them, you can't, and I did it with AI, and I did it with them telling me that according to Catholic studies and rules, that they can't go to heaven if they hate and they don't take people as what they are and forgive them or whatever. It's and I mean we have to be forgiven. We have to be respected.
I think does it say in the New Testament, love your neighbor like yourself, right? Which is a quote from the book of Leviticus.
Yeah.
Right. A lot of Christians don't know it's actually in the Hebrew Bible. It's a quote from
Why don't they know that though?
I don't know, because maybe they just read the New Testament, but it goes back to now. First of all, when Jesus said it, who were his neighbors? Who were his neighbors? It was just Jews,
Yeah.
That's
who was it? The people that assisted him. Who were they? They were all Jews.
Yeah, I'm just saying that it can't be that you have hate in your heart and you're hating on people,
right?
And and I open my Facebook after not looking for a day, and I see thousands of messages of hate.
Yeah,
and the names that I see that look Christian to me and look American, those are the ones I'm more likely to respond to. So I write to them. I said, sometimes I write, you cannot possibly be a Christian. You must be a pagan if you're writing things like that.
Well, and there's a big word they use is no, only Satanists talk like that.
Or demonic.
Do we believe in Satan?
Not in the same way as Christians do.
Okay.
But to me that's not even a response. It's not even a response. It's like, once someone says something like that, I usually just detach. I can't, you can't even.
Well, they in this case they were saying it was satanic. In fact, the Catholic Church is such that we don't like it. And this is a Christian talking to me because we believe it's set up as a satanic thing like the Roman Empire was.
Right.
So there's a lot there's a lot of that, but there's where I'm living now, I had more anti-Semitism in Chicago ever than I have now. And it's amazing. It took me a while to adjust and for people to adjust to me, and my family. And it's a good place to be. They're really good people here, a lot of them.
Yeah.
So you see that, JP.
The reality is amongst the haters are a much smaller population than the people who are good people out there. Just they have big mouths. And so the haters, they grab an oversized place on social media, right? But the people who are good people are the majority. They're just not as vocal. So and I know that, and people need to know that that's the majority.
Oh.
So
all right, Rabbi, I know you got to go.
Yeah.
Pretty soon. And so other than Dave Weinbaum Show and then buying your book, Secrets of the Hebrew Bible, where can you find that, and where can people contribute?
The first so they can go, it's on your screen there. Secrets of the Hebrew Bible.org is where you can grab a copy of the book, or you can go to our website, israelalliance.org, or our Facebook page, which is facebook.com. We need to make a little correction on the screen. It's facebook.com/Israel Alliance. It shouldn't say .org on the Facebook link.
Well, so I need to check it, because the problem is the last time I did that, it was sending everybody to a different place. And I actually put that in the comments. So then I wanted to make sure it sent them to the right place.
Oh, yeah. Well, try typing it in. I'm not sure. I think because you have facebook.com, there shouldn't be a .org at the end.
I'll recheck it
so
again.
It should be .com?
Or it used to just be without the .org, and then when I tried that one time, it was sending people to a weird place, and it wasn't.
I'll tell you right now.
It's sending you to Satan, and the bastard didn't call up. And
it is weird. It's sending you to a weird place. Okay, let me tell you what it should mean. Oh, it should be facebook.com/Global Israel Alliance.
Oh, Global Israel Alliance .org.
Here.
Is it .org then still?
Look at your comments in the private chat. I just sent it to you.
This is what I wanted to do, is get everybody really interested in solving all these problems with the internet.
JP, you see what I sent you?
Yeah. There you go.
Yep, I just found it. I'm going to go and put that in the
All
comments.
right, we're going to do it.
Make that change.
Shabbat shalom, my friend. And
all right, guys, take care. Great talking to y'all.
Guess who's in here? Guess who just walked in the room? Pastor Pat, come over here really quick and say hello to the rabbi. He's gone.
He just jumped off.
Oh my God. Well, he's got, Passover, and he's got other things. It's his birthday too. Pastor Pat, we're going to do a commercial first. So relax. Do you want any coffee or anything like that? Or all right. So let's hit that commercial, finish it, and I'm going to go to the bathroom. Insurance going up like crazy? Daniel and Henry Insurance is one of the largest private insurance companies in the world. Richard Boyette, 314-444-5011. He's my guy at Daniel and Henry for 10 years. Business or personal, call Richard at 314-444-5011. He's the best.
Maybe it's for a kitchen you've always wanted. Maybe it's just to have a little extra room. Whatever the reason you're considering a new home loan, it's good to know that Town & Country Bank will guide you in the right direction. Our experienced local lenders are here to help you with a new home construction, remodeling projects, and fixed and adjustable rate home loans. You can even start the process online by clicking Online Mortgage Center at tcbanks.com. Smart, friendly solutions. Town & Country Bank. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Greetings, everyone. I'm Bob Willis, an author and writer, and I write nature books. I live here in a ranch on the Ozarks and have published many books over 2 decades of writing. The Trout Adventure series of books was about traveling the world with a camera and a fly rod. The Last Buffalo in Kansas is a true story about one family's journey through 100 years of American history. A couple of years ago, I decided to write a children's nature series of books. 2 of those books have been published. The Adventures of Dog is a story about a puppy that grows up on a ranch in the Ozarks and has fabulous adventures. The Adventures of the Cats R Us Gang is about a group of cats that band together to protect the ranch from a dastardly group of raccoons. Wonderful stories for children, wholesome, about nature and the Ozarks. They're available at Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and in Walmart even. They're available locally at Reader's Depot. Hey, take a look at them. Thanks a lot.
The same people that he went and healed and prayed for and loved, he's brought before them all. And they stand him up there. They say, hey, you want this Jesus? Place yourself in there. You want you or this murderous thief who's murdered and stolen from you guys? Who do you want? And not only do they choose Barabbas, and when you really think about it, we are Barabbas. They choose him, and then they say, not only that, let the blood of him, Jesus, be on us and our kids. That is so sick. Place yourself, that's you, and doing all this, because truly, this is what we deserved. We deserve this punishment. And they take him to the whipping post, beaten to unrecognizable. I don't know. That's unimaginable. I mean, the movie can't even come close, and it's gruesome in the movie. But beaten so much that you don't even know who it is. And then to have to drag the cross all the way up the hill, nailed to it, and just die. And it's important to do that, because when we truly realize that should be me, I deserve that. All the stuff I did in my life, I'm entitled to that punishment. But the God who made me, he did that for me.
If I didn't see it with my own eyes, I'm not sure I would believe it. The level of hatred right now is off the charts. Every time I post something about Israel or the war, the ratio of hateful comments to the positive ones is really unbelievable. For every one positive comment, there are about 100 hateful ones. And it's not just disagreement, it's real hatred. People write things like 109, referencing the internet myth that Jews were kicked out of 109 countries, which isn't even true. Others say go back to Europe or go back to Brooklyn, as if we don't belong here. There are ones that simply write, Hitler should have finished the job. Some even try to be clever. They write things like, oh, this is your 3,000-year-old promise, mocking the idea that God promised the Jewish people the land. It's hatred, pure hatred. On one post alone, there were over 7,000 comments, of which 6,900 or so were filled with that kind of hatred. Part of me wants to say that this is shocking, but the truth is it isn't, because this is exactly what the Torah says will happen. If you look in the book of Leviticus, Vayikra chapter 26, or Deuteronomy chapter 28, the Torah describes a reality where the Jewish people will face hatred, opposition, and suffering, especially as history moves towards its later stages. And if that wasn't written thousands of years ago, what we're seeing today would be almost impossible to endure or understand. But here's the other side. The ending is also written. The Torah doesn't just predict darkness, it promises light. It tells us that in the end, goodness will prevail, evil will disappear, and God's presence will be fully revealed in the world. The very first time we hear about the end of days is when Yaakov gathers his children to tell them what will happen at the end. There's something very powerful about that, because when you know how something is going to end, you can endure almost anything. We're living through a time of confusion, of darkness, of rising hatred, but we are not living without hope and without direction. We know where this is going. So yes, the hatred might be real, but it is not the end of the story. It's part of the process that leads to something much bigger. And because we know the ending, we can endure the middle.
Okay, here we are, and I have Pastor Pat is right across from me. She's a good friend of ours, and she's a very, very smart Christian pastor, a prophet and a friend to Jews and Christians alike. She got me in touch with the rabbi, and too bad the rabbi, I couldn't get him to stay long enough for them to say hello to each other in person. But he's going to be down here, I believe, and he's going to your church. So please welcome Pastor Pat Maxwell. Always specially good. Yes, you're waving me at something? Oh, okay. When you do this and I was pulling my headset. Yes, I know. No. See, I'm getting to where I'm actually anticipating stuff, which is good, isn't it? What are you laughing at? I knew she was going to laugh. See, I was anticipating it. So, anyways, a word of prayer for Jason Thomas Ross. Did you listen to his clips? I didn't. You
Yes.
saw them, right?
Mhm.
It was really something.
Mm-hmm.
Did we play his clips?
Yeah.
Yeah, good. Okay. So there seems to be a rise in anti-Semitism all over the world. Who are the perpetrators, and what will the Jewish Jesus do as judgment?
Well, of course, he doesn't agree. And there's scripture that says to not even offend the Jewish people,
Really?
let alone doing what some people are doing with the anti-Semitism. We're not even supposed to offend. So we just walk very, very respectfully of the words that we've been taught about that. And of course, Jesus himself, as you say all the time, is, he's Jewish. And
Yeah.
so there should be no problem. There should be no problem at all. But we as Christians, we call it a spiritual war that's going on. So
Spiritual war between
Yeah.
who?
between the devil and God, between Satan and God.
Satan and God. We're just
Mhm.
talking to how we feel about Satan,
Mhm.
and the rabbi says, "Well, we have a little different."
Right.
And I don't know the difference, quite frankly. So
I don't know all the difference there, but I
Yeah.
know that he's a fallen being, and he went
Yeah.
against God, and God booted him out. And
he was an angel at one time, right?
A cherub. I mean, he was just awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yes.
Okay. So I know it's faith, but Jews who believe in God only abide by Hashem, or are supposed to, and no one else. Jesus, a Jew from birth till death. Do Christians and others who openly hate Jews and attack them with lies be forgiven by Jesus or God? Do they have to at least admit that they were wrong?
I don't know how all the judgment on that would end up, but I do know that the Lord would deal with them, so to speak, give them opportunity to change and to repent and realize that they need to, not do that. Now, afterwards, I don't know what may go on there, but I just know it's very important that any Christian would realize that the Jewish people are God's people also.
There seems to be a real war going on between African countries against the Christians that are living there, both black and white. What's going on with that? That has very little to do with the Jews, and more to do with Christians versus Muslims, which the Muslims are in a lot of African countries too. So how do we have that happen?
Well, we as Christians just believe that sort of boils down to the end of times, to where the all-out war between God and Satan. Satan's just trying to gain gain strength, gain in anything that he can do against God. And he has a 6,000 year reign. That's what we believe. Since Adam's fall, there's 6,000 years. It's called the church age. And so the 6,000 years is really close to the end. So
give me an estimate.
Oh, I don't know on that. I don't know the amount of years, but as you see things happening, as you see everything going on, you notice and you can tell that
something's going on.
Yeah, it's
right now.
Yeah.
It's not just guessing. It seems like God has performed a lot of miracles for the Jews in Israel, based on their abilities to hold off, maybe a couple billion people who might be wanting to kill every Jew. And they've got, like maybe 8 million Jews at the most in Israel.
Mm-hmm.
And people think what's his name? The guy who has a big show, a big, really popular guy who spoke to President Trump. And I can't remember his name. He's a fighter, in the ring and all that stuff.
Tyrus.
Anyways, huh?
Tyrus.
No, not Tyrus. No, I'm talking about Rogan. That's all I'm
Rogan.
talking about. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
Yeah, he thought he was talking about the Jews, a little anti-Semitic there at the beginning of the interview with a Jewish rabbi, mind you, who was defending the Jews.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, so after he gets done, he says, so you think we did all that, right? He said, I said, so the guy asked me, how many Jews do you think there are? Well, I would say at least 1 billion. And the guy says, I don't think you're close. He said, well, how many? He says, 500 million? Okay, we'll get on to 500 million. The guy says, no. We have about 14 to 16 million people all over the world. And that's it.
Mm.
And he was flabbergasted. How do these people come to mind to everybody, and yet there's hardly any of them? I found that very interesting. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, that's one thing that the Jewish people remind Satan of God. You carry the name of God. You have for all the generations, even for us Christians, you have carried the word of God. You have carried it through all of these decades. And so you remind him of God, and he hates it. He hates it because he wanted to be ruler so badly. And of course, he's he's defeated already, but he just is able to throw out his stuff and do the things that he does. But you're just a reminder. And so there's people that don't understand that join up with them, and they're just throwing out words and so forth. And then there's some that are really, really destined to try to take you out.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Wow. So why doesn't God have the power to eradicate this person or this fallen angel? Why can't he just get rid of the guy? And why is he letting him do this? I mean, doesn't he have the power to get rid of him?
Yes.
Why isn't he?
God in the beginning
Yeah.
gave the earth to Adam.
Right.
He said, this is yours. You rule it. You take care of it. Make the rest of it like the Garden of Eden.
Uh-huh.
So whenever he and Eve failed, and he failed, he gave the dominion over to the snake or the serpent, which represents Satan. He gave that over to him. So therefore, God can only work now with our will. And he says, if you'll pray and you'll seek me and allow me to work, I'll work. But God is not an Indian giver, and he's not, he's not bipolar. When he says something or does something, he does it. So therefore, that's why we as Jewish people and as Christian people, we need to take our authority, and we can on this earth and say, no, this is how this is going to go. But we have to do it.
And God did say he made us in his own image.
Yes.
So does that mean that he has flaws too? How does he explain if we're in his own image, and we know we make a lot of mistakes, we make stupid mistakes, we make almost daily we make some kind of mistakes. We lose our phones, for example. I had to throw that in there. Oh, that's terrible. I'm so sorry. Not. Anyways, but no, we do make dumb mistakes, and I do too. And so do you, and so does JP. But what does he do? Does he make mistakes?
No.
Okay. So how do you explain that then?
Well, he's always helping us. He'll always
help us if we pray to him, right?
Yeah.
What if we don't pray?
Well, God is so wonderful and so merciful, and he loves us so much. He still works with people if they will listen to him. He won't cross the barrier of their will, but if they will listen to him and they cry out to him, or he'll even try to lead them and guide them, even with them not really crying out. That's the best way, Lord, lead me, guide me. But his heart is always toward man to help him.
Well, and I'm saying this as a person who does a lot of praying, and I don't remember doing it a lot as a kid, but I was always curious about stuff. I was always wondering as a 10-year-old, why do people hate Jews? Why do they hate me? I haven't had enough time to do anything that bad, and they just hate me, So I started reading books about it and the Holocaust and all that, and because I wanted to know, was the Holocaust was the only part of history where Jews got demolished, and come to learn that it's been going on for thousands and thousands of years, and it just amazed me how many people didn't like us. I didn't understand it. How many people that came over from even from Europe after being banished by the Romans to all these other countries in Europe mainly, and some in Africa. How did they come home and then come to the United States? And why did they change their names to Joseph or to Jones and Joe Jones, who maybe was McCloskey or something like that? Why did the Jews do that, do you think?
I guess a lot of that was because of the Holocaust, wasn't it? Because of
I
things
think it was
like
because
that
of
went on.
they were like scared to be Jews
Mm-hmm.
anywhere else because they were Jews in Europe who were loved by the Christians to a certain extent. The rabbi's wife goes back to like a century. No, 900, 1,000 years. Let's put it that way. Yeah, that would be 1,000 years. And being in Russia or being in Poland. And so we're wondering if when the Nazis came, all these people that loved the Jews, they loved their Jews, and they went, and when this happened, they were pointing to where the Jews were. The Nazis said, "Where are the Jews?" Oh, here, 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 here.
Mm-hmm.
They just went and did it, and these are the Jews they claim they loved. How does that happen? Is that a message from God to the Jews to get the hell out of these places and come back?
Well, the Lord isn't really trying to pressure anybody, I don't think, as far as pressure them, but it's just something that has happened. And he said the Jewish people would come back to their land. But, God's not in the middle of them being killed or being pushed and being, all of this that's happening. He loves the Jewish people. In fact, he's very sad that this happens. Yeah.
JP.
Yeah.
You can check the screen.
Yeah. Oh.
Thanks.
Luckily, they can't see that though.
Oh.
No. It's just
Okay,
all
good.
right. Yeah.
Yeah. So is
Thank you.
Oh, there goes my train of thought. Anyways, thank you, honey.
You're welcome.
Always helpful.
Try.
So, what are your prophecies for the next 10 years or so? What do you think is going to happen in the next 10 years?
I think we're going to go through a few more months of some rough area. I think that it's going to take a little bit of time to get some things readjusted, but I do believe by the end of the year that there's going to be rebirthing and resetting, and there's going to be some things done that's needed to be done a long time ago. I believe that God has called and anointed President Trump to get some of these things in line and in place, because we all know we were going down the tubes fast.
I think if you don't know this, you don't know anything.
Right.
I agree.
And he has reinstated Israel.
Yeah.
He has reinstated God in our nation. He has reinstated a lot of different aspects. And so I think, this is what I feel, that there's going to be a great awakening again. There's a movie that's coming out tomorrow. Is today the 3rd?
Yes.
Today. And with George Whitefield. And he's one of those that was in the Great Awakening, that helped the Great Awakening happen. And so I believe there's going to be another one. There's going to be, call it revival, awakening, whatever. There's going to be a few years of a great revival and a great time of people.
Revival for everyone, or for just for Christians and Jews, or
anyone?
How about Muslims? How do we deal with Muslims?
Well,
I mean, I'm not trying to sit here and say all Muslims are bad.
Right.
There's a lot of great Muslims. I know some of them. They're nice guys. For the most part, they are a little different sometimes, but okay. And I'll argue with any of them. But they are taught a different thing. A lot of them are taught how bad it is for Jews, because I think Muhammad wanted to be God. And back in 622, when he was trying to convince the Jews and the Christians of this, and the Jews refused him, said, "Yeah, we like what you do, but you know what? We're Jews," and he didn't like that, and he got mad, and he decided that the Jews were enemies, and I think he also decided that the Christians were enemies and needed to be killed
because we're together.
That's right. Well, that's where Rabbi comes in and says we don't have enough differences to fight each other.
Right.
Right? You believe that, and I believe that too. Really, we got to get the Catholics. Now, not all Catholics are anti-Semitic, but I'd say about half of them are. And that's a good maybe 700 million people.
Wow.
So there's a lot of Catholics in the world, but I stand up to all of them, and I know this. I know this from my own personal life experiences. I've been involved in being picked on by Catholics, and so it's interesting for me to be talking to them right through this show. It's amazing.
Yes.
Yeah, it's amazing. So we'll see what happens.
Yes,
but,
I watch every show, so I've.
Oh, thank you.
seen
Yes,
it
I know
all.
you're always
Mhm.
on there. And it's terrific, and it's really, really fun having you as a guest.
Thank you.
Anything else you'd like to leave us with?
Well, I do want to say, Dave, I'm still trying to find that prophecy that the Lord gave me for you a few years back. I misplaced it somewhere. But in that prophecy, even then, he spoke in there how he has called you to do what you're doing. He's called you to stand in the place that you're standing, and the stand that you're taking for our country, for God, for the Jewish people, the Christian people. You're one of those that's been called to do this very thing. So I
Yeah.
really appreciate you, all of you guys here, and the show. It's just really a blessing to people.
Wow. I wasn't sure I had anything prophesized about me.
Yes.
But I do actually.
You do.
Pray a lot, and there are things that happen to me that are amazing. Finding her was amazing, actually.
Yes.
And
Amazing lady.
finding her,
each
but
other.
finding her phone is not easy. But and I think God wants me to. I think God has a sense of humor. I hope. I'm
Yes, he
praying for
does.
that. That's for sure.
Well, look at us.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what are you trying to be funny? You can't be funny. No. I think God likes. I think God has a sense of humor.
hmm
I do, and or I pray that He does.
Well, even the scripture says he laughs.
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
it's hard to imagine him in a burning bush laughing. I don't know. I don't.
He was probably pretty serious with that burning bush.
I
yeah.
would guess so. Yeah.
I think there are times he probably sees stuff that we do and all that, and just kind of.
Yeah,
just kind of sighs at
Well,
us
he
at
probably
times.
looks at it like Rabbi has said this before. It's like he's are his kids. We're his kids,
Right.
and he sees us do dumb stuff, and he just does that, and he
You go,
until-
hi,
yeah, oi gewalt.
yeah.
That would be in Jewish. That's
Uh-huh.
Yiddish.
Uh-huh.
So, okay. Well, listen. Thank you so much, and thanks for stopping in. And you're always welcome here.
Yes.
Oh, wait a minute.
I will find that prophecy.
What are you doing?
Reminder about the rabbi being at your church.
Yes,
on April
okay.
26th
Thank
at 3
you.
p.m.
Yes.
I thought you might want to throw that out there.
Yes. April 26th at 3 p.m. He's finally going to get to make it.
We hope.
We hope.
Yeah.
City of Light and Life Ministries.
So here, let me ask you this: other than the Dave Weinbaum Show, where can people find and contribute to you?
Well, we do have a website. It's not real active, great website, City of Light and Life Ministries. And, but we have snail mail, and we have other ways
Yeah.
to do that. But
Okay. Well, one word of advice, and this probably came from God: never go with the flow until you know where the waterfalls are.
okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much. You have a great weekend.
Thank you,
and,
Dave.
Enjoy yourself. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Thanks. Bye bye. Okay. So, did we do 2 sets of? Okay. Let's do the. I'm talking about the commercials. Yeah. Let's do it.
With warmer temperatures right around the corner and allergies ramping up, now's the time to get those AC units serviced. At Hartley's, we pride ourselves in offering outstanding service with fast response times. With proper maintenance, you can make those hot days be a lot cooler and remove those pesky allergens that always seem to find their way into your home. Call us today so you can be living a much cooler and healthier life. Hartley's, community born, community raised, community serving.
Call Hartley's Climate Control today at 573-368-3163.
Never be too coy to tell your friends and family about koi sushi and hibachi. Celebrate the best Chinese-Japanese restaurant in the Midwest. Call 573-426-5551 to make a reservation or order takeout. Locally owned, 1808 North Bishop, Rolla, Missouri.
We can sum up McDonald's new crispy chicken sandwich in one word. Crispy. But also juicy and tender. Okay, it's crispy, juicy, tender. All one word. But then, also pickle. Oh, and potato bun, which is two words. Okay, we can't sum up our new crispy chicken sandwich in one word, so you'll just have to try it to understand it. Order ahead on the McDonald's app at participating McDonald's. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Merrill's Quarry and Asphalt, 40 years serving cities, counties, and everyday businesses with driveways for people who live and work in our little piece of heaven right smack dab in the middle of America. Call 573-578-9101 for your free estimate of rocking, rolling, paving, driveways, sealing, and striping too. That's 573-578-9101 for your free estimate.
Your home is your castle, you don't need unwanted hassle. Don't let those creatures move in to stay. Let us protect your investments, that's what we're all about. Plank Termite and Pest Control will save the day.
Plank is locally owned and family operated right here in Rolla, a Google preferred business. Our customer service and your satisfaction is our number one goal. So call Plank today at 368-3333.
Plank Termite and Pest Control will save the day.
Busy schedule? Let your locally owned Price Chopper help you save time with online shopping. It's easy. Sign up to tcmarkets.com or download our mobile app in the App Store or Google Play. Create an account and browse through the categories and choose the items you need. When you place your order, your personal shopper will get all of the items you've selected, taking the same care you would and following your notes. We offer free curbside pickup, so you don't even have to get out of your car. Start your online order today and no online shopping fee for a limited time. Go to tcmarkets.com or download our mobile app to get started. Price Chopper. Fresher savings every day. Insurance going up like crazy? Daniel and Henry Insurance is one of the largest private insurance companies in the world. Richard Boyette, 314-444-5011. He's my guy at Daniel and Henry for 10 years. Business or personal, call Richard at 314-444-5011. He's the best.
At Town & Country Bank, we've got all the perks of a national bank, like online banking, quick loan approval, and you can deposit your check from your phone. But that's not why our customers love us. They love us because we still offer hometown customer service. Stop by one of our 2 Rolla locations and let our friendly team remind you how special hometown banking can be. We're locally owned and will take the time to understand your needs. Smart, friendly solutions. Town & Country Bank. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender.
Greetings, everyone. I'm Rob Willis, an author and writer, and I write nature books. I live here in a ranch on the Ozarks and have published many books over 2 decades of writing. The Proud Adventure series of books was about traveling the world with a camera and a fly rod. The Last Buffalo in Kansas is a true story about one family's journey through 100 years of American history. A couple of years ago, I decided to write a children's nature series of books. 2 of those books have been published. The Adventures of Dog is a story about a puppy that grows up on a ranch in the Ozarks and has fabulous adventures. The Adventures of the Cats R Us Gang is about a group of cats that band together to protect the ranch from a dastardly group of raccoons. Wonderful stories for children, wholesome, about nature and the Ozarks. They're available at Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and in Walmart even. They're available locally at Reader's Depot. Hey, take a look at them. Thanks a lot.
Okay. All right, we're back. We're back. And in a couple minutes, you got Joe on the phone?
He jumped off. We can call him back.
Yeah, call him back. Okay, we got Joe Dalton trying to reach us.
And I'm waiting for Richard to jump on too. So.
And Richard's going to be here, yes, any minute. It's supposed to be any second right now.
Yeah.
So we might be calling him. I don't know. I think I think he'll get on pretty soon. Anyways, we're calling for Joe. And here he is, I think.
Still calling.
Mm-hmm.
Is he going to stand us up now?
Probably. So is this Mr. Dalton?
Yes, sir. How are you?
I'm good.
Sorry about that.
That's all right. We were in commercial, if you didn't know.
Well, I didn't know, and you were in the middle of the commercial with the guy with the books, and I've heard him on your program before,
Yeah.
so I thought we had launched into another interview already. So,
Well, you thought wrong. I'm sorry.
well, I've been wrong before.
Yeah, thanks for coming to the funeral yesterday. I appreciate that.
Oh, sure.
So now I've
never
got
met the guy. I've never met your granddaughter, but I felt
Yeah.
compelled to be there. I mean, it's a big deal, man.
Well, I got to have some guy's going to be calling me. You might want to give him a call. Do you have a phone somewhere?
I have mine. I don't know if I have his number.
You might not have his number. Okay. Anyways, so what can I do for you, sir?
Okay, real quick. I need you to take a deep breath and stop with the Catholic hating stuff.
Catholic hating?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So, first of all, you know two people, Tucker Carlson
Yeah.
and Candace Owens. Okay. Tucker is not even Catholic. He's Episcopalian, which is
Yeah.
a drastic departure. Okay.
Yeah.
And then Candace Owens became Catholic on April 23rd, 2024.
Yeah.
So not exactly a theologian of the faith, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Now, I appreciated your AI experience because that was spot on. That was coming out of the canon law. That was coming out of the catechism. That was coming out of Catholic doctrine.
Right.
That's exactly right.
Okay.
But Candace Owens doesn't speak for me. And certainly Tucker Carlson with a pro-abortion denomination doesn't speak for me. So I just wanted to put it out there that you keep bringing these two people up. And
All right, I'll talk about the whole thing, the whole 2,000 years since this has been going on, Joe.
Okay.
It's not just them. You're right, and they're very wicked people.
They're idiots. So you know me, and you know I'm not.
I know.
anti-Semitic.
Look, the way I rate it is that somebody mentioned, well, how many? It's probably about 40% of the Catholics are anti-Semitic. Okay,
Who mentioned that? And where did that figure come from? That is so wrong.
It is
That's
wrong.
like saying. That's like saying
no, I don't know.
40%
I
of
don't.
Catholics are pro-abortion. That's not true. You know.
Yeah. Well,
I'll give you a good example, and this is, I could spend the rest of my life reading the Catholic doctrine and the books of the saints and all this stuff and not get through it all.
Yeah.
You know, I've been Catholic my whole life, and I don't understand it. Okay, so
you don't understand what?
I don't understand everything. I don't know everything.
Oh, well, neither do I.
Certainly not.
But
So,
I have done
so
some
anyway-
work in terms of my own childhood and getting beat up or attempting to beat me up by Catholics, attempting to kick us out of a park in Evanston. The phone's ringing somewhere.
It's yours.
Oh, it's probably him.
That's
Okay.
That's your wife's phone, I think. So
No, go ahead.
no. So one little story for you.
I got another Catholic calling me right now. Look, I know you're mad, but it's history and it's wrong. And quite frankly,
I'm not mad. I'm just telling you that Candace Owens and Tucker Carlson
Okay.
do not speak for the Catholic faith. Not even
Well,
close.
they act. Then why aren't Catholics coming out against them? Let's put it that way. Why you
Right.
just came out against them? Why aren't they taking out after? They're very powerful and they're getting Jews killed and or chased and or whatever. So why
they have a platform which really sucks.
Well,
and,
but they're
and,
taking.
and I agree with Rabbi that it's clickbait. This is what they used to call shock jock is now clickbait. That's why they're doing this for money. So
Okay,
I agree
could
with
be.
Rabbi for sure.
So why don't we hear it? Why don't the Catholics be fighting the people like that? I don't see them doing it. Do you?
Okay, well,
the Jews got to fight them. Apparently,
I'm doing it.
Okay, well
I mean,
that's
I'm
good.
speaking out against them, but so another interesting thing about the Catholic faith is canon law.
Yeah.
So this is kind of like Leviticus to you, but canon law to us is what we're supposed to follow, right? So there's a great story about the brand newly elected head bishop, president of the United States Council of Catholic Bishops. Okay, every country has their own Council of Catholic Bishops. Well, he's being interviewed by this liberal reporter, and she says, what do you think about this Rebecca Kiesling person, this person that founded Catholics for a Free Choice, right? So, and then he does this long pause.
Yeah.
And he says, "What's your name again?" And she repeats it, and he says, "Oh, she's not a part of our church." Next question.
Really?
So the point of that is, if you read canon law, it very specifically says that if you're in the public venue or if you're a politician and you're espousing pro-abortion beliefs and trying to convince others to believe the same thing, that you've already excommunicated yourself.
Oh.
So Nancy Pelosi wasn't really a Catholic. She thought she was. Joe Biden wasn't really a Catholic. He thought he was. He was already excommunicated. So
so the church came and excommunicated them? Is that correct?
No, back up. They've already excommunicated themselves by their actions.
So how did they get notified?
I'll send the canon law to you.
Did they get notified by this that you're no longer Catholic?
Numerous times bishops have done this where they refuse to give Nancy Pelosi communion, for example, or Joe Biden.
Yeah.
And it becomes real public and the media goes nuts over it. Oh, this evil bishop refused to give him communion. It's
I'm glad to see that happen. I'm glad to see that happen. And look, as far as I'm concerned, if Catholics are doing this, as is written by AI, they are subject to not getting into heaven because of hatred like that.
Yeah,
Am I wrong?
You're not saving the Catholics. So the reality is,
I would love to save the Catholics because I like people. I like you. I like the guy I'm going to be talking to in a half an hour. But he's a big fan of
McCloskey?
Yeah. Okay.
He's much more important than I am. So, so I just wanted to.
Why did you say that? Why did you say that he's so much more important than you are?
He's much more famous than I am.
You said important.
Well, the world knows who he is.
Have you been drinking this morning or what? You sound like you want to fight.
No, you just got my guns up a little bit.
All right, that's fine. Good.
Okay.
We can have this discussion. Are we ready with our next guest? Okay, this is going to be this is the Catholic hour right now because I'll be talking to this guy. He's a Catholic, and then I'm going to be talking to another Catholic, and your buddy McCloskey. Okay, I'll talk to you later. Thank you so much.
Love you, man.
All right, bye. Okay, this is fun. I tell you what. Yes, sir. Are you there?
Calling him now.
Okay, good. Okay, there it is. Okay.
Hello.
Hey, are you okay?
Yeah, all right.
Did you hear all that?
Yes.
Oh my
goodness.
goodness.
No, I didn't hear a thing. No.
Oh, you couldn't. Oh, good. Good. I had a Catholic friend of mine call, and he was unloading on me because I've been talking about Catholics and all that, and he was
Ah, the cat lickers, yes.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. You're a Catholic, right?
I am.
Gee, come on. This is wild. He was mad because I brought it up because of Candace Owens and what's his name? Tucker Carlson. And he says, well, he's not even a Catholic. He's a Ethiopian or something. I don't know. I don't know what he is. And so I says, okay, so tell me what the Catholic Church is doing about this. And he got mad. And says, why does it take me to say something about it? And you're a Catholic, and they're ruining your reputation right now.
Well, let me tell you what Pope Leo said just recently.
Oh yeah, the White Sox fan, idiot.
Yeah, he said that anybody that is waging war, God doesn't listen to their prayers. And I'm
What?
thinking, because he wanted to be anti-war.
Yeah.
Okay? And I'm thinking, God doesn't listen to their prayers, so he didn't listen to Moses.
Yeah, exactly.
He didn't listen to Saul. He didn't listen to any of the great people that waged war in the Bible.
How about David? Say the
David,
name David.
David.
Yes, my name is David too, you know.
Yes,
And
yes.
what a great warrior he was.
But I believe Pope Leo is a man of the left.
There you go. And you know what? His brother, who is a Cubs fan, which I am too, quite frankly, he is conservative and a Trump supporter. Okay.
How about that? I'll never forgive the Cubs for trading away Kenny Hubbs.
Yeah, and I'll never forgive the Cardinals for
Lou
trading
Brock,
away
too.
Donovan. Yeah, to the Cardinals. Yes.
Yeah, right?
There you go. Yeah. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce you to this gentleman here because this show's getting wild. All right, so he is a poet. He's a Catholic, obviously. He's a writer, a Roman Catholic, expert at space aliens and time travel. Please welcome all the way from I'm not going to say where, Richard C. Jeffrey.
Hey. Good morning, and happy Passover to you,
and a great Easter to you.
Thank you,
So,
thank you.
You're welcome.
Passover,
and by the way, isn't that connected?
Passover means a lot to Christians as well because Jesus was celebrating the Passover with his apostles.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So how do you go in as a Catholic, like Candace, anyone in the Catholic area? How do they go in to expecting to be forgiven and to be sent to heaven if they are taking on Jesus as they are taking on the Jews? And Jesus was a Jew. His mother was a Jew. His apostles were all Jewish. He was
maybe even his children
were Jews. Well, wait a minute now. Is this a scoop? Is this a scoop?
They called Jesus rabbi, did they not?
Yeah.
It was prescribed back then that anybody that was a rabbi had to be married.
Oh, well, was he? What are you trying to say here? Are you breaking? This is the biggest scoop I've ever broken. If this is true,
there's a line of thought that he was married and his bloodline continues.
Wow. And you're it?
No, I'm not it.
Okay.
I'm not it. But anyway, so
this show's going to go real famous. I just had a gal give me a approximation that I somehow am a little psychic as well, and that she thinks that I have some kind of power that I never thought I had. It's pretty interesting
Dave, I think we
at this
all have
age.
that.
Well, I think we all have that,
touch with it,
Yeah.
And some aren't.
Yeah. Well, and, you know, I'm praying a lot here lately, and I'm coming up with things that I never did younger, and I'm old, you know, hell.
Yeah.
Anyhow,
Anyway.
was that your mom that had a problem last 2 weeks ago?
Yes, it was my mother-in-law.
Mother-in-law, and how's she doing?
And she's 89 years old,
Yeah.
and all of her body processes are failing her, and it's a tough time.
It's rough. Well,
It's a
God
tough
bless
time.
her. Okay. And,
Thank you so much, and God bless your family. I'm sorry for your loss.
It was horrible, horrible. And this guy was a minister. He's married to my granddaughter. We have a Jewish Christian thing going here, and it's a great family, both sides.
Don't worry, Jesus
all
had
get
the
away.
same thing going.
Well, no, he didn't. He didn't really as a Jew.
No,
they were all Jews back then. There weren't any Christians.
Just those that believed in Jesus were.
Well, okay.
You know,
they didn't automatically change. They lived and died as Jews, and they obeyed all the holidays.
And I've got to emphasize that Christians are Jewish at their roots. They're still Jewish.
Yeah. Well, some of it is, and some of it's confusing to me. Okay. Yep. I'll tell you why it's confusing, because sometimes when they're saying God, they're referring to Jesus. And sometimes when they're referring to Jesus, they're really meaning talking about God. So, which is it? And then you say rabbi, which he called himself, I think, rabbi, right?
He did, and his apostles called him rabbi as well.
Okay, yeah, I see those in the clips that I have on Reels. You ever look at Reels?
Oh yeah,
yeah. There's a lot of good information there, a lot of non-good information, but there's a lot of great information.
You have
a lot
to
of
be
historic
able to
things.
discern what's true and what's not.
Well, you know what? The way you do that, then you use your AI and ask questions about this, and you see the AI going through the process of researching it in seconds.
It does that,
and I don't know what the how people are saying, you can't do this, or you can't. It could be evil. It could be held for evil. And I tell them, so what do you think we've had for government here before Trump? It's been worse than evil,
Yeah, I get you. No,
right.
I look at AI right now as like going to the library. You know, and it condenses your research that you might have undertaken maybe for 2 or 3 days into a few seconds.
Exactly.
And that's amazing. It's amazing.
Exactly. And I used it in my show. I used it coming up to ask as I didn't say I was Jewish. I don't think. I just said if this is happening, that Catholics are giving out false information about Jews being bad, what happens? And Jesus is their savior. What happens when they die and have to meet the Jewish Jesus? And it came back and just said, look, they have a big problem. They have a big problem.
In Christianity, we believe that Christ will come again. We proclaim it in every mass.
Yeah.
And when he comes, this is his own words, he's going to put people into 2 camps, the sheep and the goats. Have you ever heard of this?
Vaguely, yeah.
Okay, so the sheep, he's going to put on his right-hand side.
Yeah.
And they're the people who follow the law and listen to him.
Yeah.
And the goats, he's going to put on the left. And he's going to say, you didn't follow my instructions. You didn't love your neighbor. You didn't, they'll say, hey, we went to church. We went to synagogue. We followed the letter of the law. And Jesus will say at that time, when I was hungry, you didn't feed me. When I was thirsty, you didn't give me drink. When I was naked, you didn't clothe me. When I was in prison, you didn't visit me. And they will say, but if we had known it was you, we would have done those things. And he will say, whatever you do to the least of my brethren, you do it unto me.
There you go. That's really good. Yeah.
You know, but remember I said he would separate them on the left and the right?
Yeah.
Well, that follows our political division right now. The left, who doesn't seem to follow morality at all,
are the goats,
and the right are the sheep. And here we've got the political left and right that mirrors what Jesus said. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah, it's an interesting thing, and we're all waiting for it. It's looking like it's going to happen sooner than later. You know.
Well,
what do you know about Satan?
Not too much. I don't follow him.
Yeah. Hey, I got one clip that's sticking out here. Let me read some of these clips, okay?
This long one?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, the people know comments. Mary Dyke, wonderful interview. Thank you with the question. God made us in his image, and we are so flawed. When is God flawed? Then is God flawed? Oh, of course not. That's why he had to sacrifice his son to redeem us. We are a three-part being, spirit, soul, and body. We are a spirit. We are a spirit. We live in a body / tent, and we have soul, mind, will, and emotions. It is our spirit man who gets born again, made in God's image. Nicodemus asks about being born again. What is a born of the spirit, and what is born of the flesh? Okay, is flesh. Okay, so that's really interesting. Thank you for that, Mary. And what else do we got? Megan Johnson.
Well, there's one here that goes back during Mom's interview on the screen here.
Oh, and yeah, Ann Bidlock. Well said, Pat, referring to Pastor Pat, I believe. Yeah. And Megan Johnson. Good morning, Megan. Anyone else? Patricia Oden Maxwell. See you on April 25th, Rabbi Moshe. You know, I'm becoming a religious show. When did this happen? I don't know. Yeah, it's really, it is. Stephanie Samplak Zink. Oh, my goodness. Good morning. It's always a great day with Dave. And hi to Jeff and Ryan. Thanks for contacting me, Stephanie. We'll have you back soon. I saw about last week. I don't know if she knows or not, but you know what happened. So Melinda Bloodworth, I believe God is everything and everywhere, and your personal walk with God is what's all encompassing important. Okay, thank you, Melinda. Well, we're getting okay. So we're back to the Rocket Man here. You know, we've got all these guys who are missing. A lot of the scientists are being, for some reason, getting killed or kidnapped or something. And there's almost 10 of them. It's fairly recent. The FBI is on it. It's like tech theft. And I'm wondering if you know anything about this, because this could involve space travel.
I don't know about it, but
yeah,
nothing surprises me.
Some of them have gone to schools like MIT, you know, might I say. Things like
as
that.
did John Trump.
Yes, that's right. Okay, so
by the way, I've got some information for you today.
Well, thanks. For about time.
Recently, there's been a lot of attention given to like some 100-year-old sketches. They were drawn by a Prussian-born artist by the name of Charles Delchow.
I got a Charles Dello. Is he a German guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, like you, right?
Yeah, similar.
Yeah.
Anyway, I believe that
he says he has he's experienced in time travel. Is that right?
Well, he did sketches of flying machines. Well, let me tell you a little bit about him.
Yeah.
Okay. First of all, he was a contemporary of Ingersoll Lockwood's.
Oh.
Who wrote the little Baron Trump books.
Yeah.
And both Delchow and Lockwood lived during the same time period that the president's father, Frederick Trump, lived. So there's a nexus of these three people that came together. This artist died in 1923, but he was obsessed with drawing strange flying machines. He called them Aerios. His drawings didn't look like anything that people had ever seen before.
So this is before the airplane was invented, right?
Yeah, well, it's like it didn't look anything like what the Wright brothers were inventing.
Yeah,
but all of his.
So the Wright brothers were wrong.
Nah, they're right.
Okay. Keep going.
Who's on first?
That's on second. Go ahead.
Anyway, but they had futuristic designs. Now, the strangest thing, this is the kicker right here.
Okay.
The strangest thing about the drawings is that Delchow scrawled the word Trump across all of his drawings. Okay.
Was this was this the MI? Who was signing that? Was that who was signing off on those?
Delchow, the artist.
Which Trump?
It just said Trump. It doesn't say any Trump. And one of the drawings actually includes a blonde man steering a flying machine.
Does it look like Trump?
Well, here's the deal.
Yeah.
It had 45, the number 45 in the corner.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Wow.
So now I posted some of Delchow's drawings on Messenger for you guys.
Okay, do you have that?
Maybe JP can bring them up for us.
All right, we're going to be looking at it. So, while he's looking for that, tell me about your books before we forget. Okay.
I was adjusting the camera. What am I looking for?
You're looking for Messenger
to the show. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So to the Dave Weinbaum Show.
Yeah. So tell me about your books while you're there.
Okay, I have a book out right now called A is for America. It's a series of poems that I wrote to celebrate our 250th anniversary as a nation. And it's being accepted quite well by even libraries, because I put a little bit of both sides of the aisle into it. Kennedy's in there.
Yeah.
Reagan, Martin Luther King, things that are American. That's our American experience.
All right, we found these.
Here we go.
Okay, so these are the time machines. It looks like an elevator or something. Wow. Okay. Now, where's it say Trump? Oh, it says Trump on
Do you
top.
see it?
Yes.
Yeah.
And these were done in the late 1800s?
No, he died in 23, so it was somewhere, I would say probably around the turn of the century.
Wow. And he was connected to Lockwood?
Well, both Lockwood and Delchow and the elder Trump were in Germany at the same time.
Wow. Huh. So,
and
what were they doing in Germany? Was one of them ambassador? Ambassador, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Lockwood was the ambassador.
Yeah.
Delchow just lived there, as did Frederick Trump.
Uh-huh.
Okay. But it seems to be a nexus of these three that sheds some light on the possibility of the Trumps being involved in a time travel program.
One of the pictures seems to have a guy there inside, like he's an elevator operator or something. I don't know. Wow.
Okay, So, JP, I sent you a couple more too.
Yeah, go ahead. Keep going. Roll it. Roll her down, and here's another one. What the hell's this? It says Trump again. Aeroup, AEROUP, Trump. Wow.
Yeah. And do you see? I
Aeroup
this
Trump.
This one might have 45 in the left-hand corner. If you, I don't know if we can see that.
Right here.
I see. It says 45 and then 95.
Yes.
Yeah. 45, 95. Now, if
I
it
don't
said
know what
45,
the 95 means.
if it says 45 and 47, that would be pretty cool. Unless he's
That would
coming
be
back in
very
95.
It
So
says down here 1920. Sunday, April 18th, 1920. Maybe that's when it was drawn. I'm not sure.
It was drawn in about 1920. Good find. I can't even see the
excellent.
damn thing.
Okay,
but they got up on it. They have like a railroad car with wheels.
And here's where there's another
Back to the Future.
company.
Back to the Future.
Yes, it's the Trump train.
Yeah. Oh, this is interesting stuff.
It's the Trump train.
You guys
Also
seeing this out there?
found-
My goodness! I hope the people can see this. Okay, so where would people find this stuff? Is there more?
You can find Del Chaw's sketches online. You just Google him.
All right. Well, I got to get back because I have another gentleman on there, and we're going to have to talk to him soon. And so, anyways, other than Dave Weinbaum, where can people find you? We just talked about your books. Where can you buy your books?
So please, please support my books. A is for America. It's a celebration of our 250th anniversary. There it is. And it can be purchased through Amazon.com or BarnesandNoble.com. And it's doing quite well. It's in libraries right now. It's in many schools have it. And I'd like to get it into as many people's hands as possible. My way of using my talent as a poet to celebrate our 250th anniversary.
Where do time travelers go if they refuse to fly?
I don't know, Dave.
Time tunnels.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh,
all right.
That one. You told me I could tell it. About the
Come on,
pilots.
this guy's gonna kill me. He wears a gun, okay? He's gonna kill me.
So the pilots over Iran are reporting that they can't find any Walmart stores.
Jeez. For
Only
what?
Targets.
Okay, that was pretty damn good. That was pretty damn good. All right. Thank you so much. Appreciate it, Rich. All right. And my next guest,
family.
my
Take
next,
care.
thank you. Appreciate that. My next guest, he's one of two great Americans, encountered 350 Antifa and BLM trespassing and stopped them in their tracks with 2 guns and 2 words. Private property. Please welcome, all the way from St. Louis, Mark and Pat McCloskey. How you doing, Mark?
Pretty good. You know, I've got a tie that exactly matches your shirt. I should have put it on this morning.
What the hell was that? Give it to me next time. I'll wear it. I'm always looking for stuff that matches because, well, my wife makes me do that. Terrible. So is Patty there?
She tells me to tell you that she is not here, but she's lying.
Patty, is that true? Did he really say that? Did you say that to him? Oh my God, he ratted you out, didn't he? Now we know what we got here. So we learned in last month that Iran had at least twice the reach without, and we thought to drop atomic bombs covering all NATO countries in Europe and Ukraine and Russia. We know this as a fact because they are capitulating to aiding the U.S. Navy. I mean, we know that these guys now are afraid in Europe of Iran. Do you agree with that?
Well, there's still some dispute as to whether or not those 4,000-kilometer missiles were actually Iranian or not. Let's assume they were. The president's doing more to destroy NATO right now than Iran is.
Well, and he's doing it purposely.
Yeah.
He's saying what's the use? Get your gas somewhere else, and maybe you can come to the we're going to get out of the situation there. The Straits of Humais, is that right?
Hormuz,
yeah, okay.
Hormuz, not Maruz.
Okay.
But ever since the end of the Cold War, of course, NATO has been an institution looking for a purpose. And it used to be the our side of the Iron Curtain. That Iron Curtain came down in 1991, a long time ago now, and they've been kind of searching for some reason to exist. And of course, we imposed upon Germany and Japan, for example, at the end of World War II, disarmament treaties where they could not defend themselves, leaving us responsible for defending them. And the interesting thing about war, which I'm always opposed to, but the interesting thing about war is that as soon as you get done knocking the out of your adversaries, the American taxpayers then pay to fix it, right? And so we rebuild Germany, we rebuild Europe, we rebuild Japan, and then not so much now, but you'll remember back in the 70s and 80s, we thought Japan was going to take over the world because their economy was booming so much and everything was coming from Japan, and look how things have changed in the last 30 years.
Well, why have they changed? Why things do change though?
Yeah, things do change. I mean, things
change throughout history.
We invited China into the World Trade Organization 23 years ago now, with the thought that we were going to grow it into a democracy.
That was Richard Nixon did that with Kissinger. Is that right?
Yeah. And George Bush. George H.W. Bush was our first ambassador to Red China. And Henry Kissinger, with shuttle diplomacy, they called it in those days, right? Of course, we sent Henry Kissinger over to negotiate with Yasser Arafat, which is just like sending Jared Kushner over to negotiate with the mullahs, right? It just doesn't make a lot of sense to me. But so we thought we would grow China into this great democracy because they had 1 billion people and they were industrious and they were going to become a powerhouse and our friend. Well, they became a powerhouse, but not necessarily our friend.
By the way, I meant to publicly apologize for a surprise appearance of my other friend on the show, Bob Willis. Before and during your time, I consider you both to be great friends, and he was there to do an ad after the show, and I guess I invited him to sit down and listen, and he participated. So
I enjoyed the hell out of it myself. Huh? I enjoyed the hell out of it myself.
Good. Hey, Bob, come on back. Oh, I'm sorry.
So one of the things that he asked me was I was talking about Pete Hegseth talking about no quarter. Here we go. I'll play it for you.
Oh, good. Play it.
Oh, crap. Pardon my language. Hang on, let me get this for you. I always love this because whenever I say, I'm going to do this, it's going to be simple, then I mess up.
They're confused and we know it. Our response, we will keep pressing, we will keep pushing, keep advancing, no quarter, no mercy for our enemies.
And so then you ask the question, he said, where's your evidence of that? Well, there's the evidence of that. So I say, well, no quarter means that you're going to kill everybody. If they surrender, you're not going to take prisoners. So I know you like AI. Here's Google.
Okay.
What is no quarter?
No quarter means refusing to spare an enemy's life, which means taking no prisoners and showing no mercy. It's considered a war crime under international law.
So here you have the now self-declared Secretary of War of the United States saying that we are committed, the United States military is committed to committing war crimes. I think the president said it again last night or 2 nights ago, that we're going to bomb their civilian facilities. And so never before, well, and the president said, bomb them back to the Stone Age. You're old enough to remember the last time you heard that phrase, right? That's what Curtis LeMay said. General Curtis LeMay used to run for vice president with George Wallace. When he was a general in Vietnam, he said we needed to bomb the North Vietnamese back to the Stone Age. And here we are all these years later, and now we have the president of the United States using that same phrase.
Well, I think they're not cognizant of what those things mean. And it's not an excuse, but I think that's true. And I don't see them. It's wrong to be saying that, and they ought to correct themselves. And I agree with you on that as well. That they ought to go back and say we said some things that were wrong, and this is not what we meant to do.
And they should do the same thing with the 165 schoolgirls that they killed. Now that everybody acknowledges it was an American tomahawk, and it was a second strike. It was a double tap. They killed the kids because
now these were Indian kids. Is that correct? From India?
That I don't know. I thought they were Iranian kids at a girls' school. But I mean, my daughter went to a Catholic school. If about the same size, 175 kids. If some nation came in and killed all, let's reverse the scenario here. Let's say on day one of the war, Iran came in, bombed D.C., killed the president, the vice president, the entire cabinet, and half of the Senate and House, and at the same day bombed a Catholic school in D.C., killing all the school kids. Do you think that would make the United States give up, or do you think it might make us a little pissed off and want to go back and retaliate? It's just committing war crimes on the first day of a war is not a great way to win the hearts and minds of your adversaries.
I would agree with that. And
to this day, the president's never apologized or even acknowledged that we intentionally killed those kids. It was
I don't see it in the news at all.
Yeah.
So
you remember back? Do you remember Lieutenant Cowley and the My Lai incident in Vietnam?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Here's a guy that went in,
killing prisoners.
Yeah, we went into to a village in Vietnam and slaughtered the population. It wasn't very many people. It wasn't as many people as that girls' school. But I mean, he was court-martialed, and it was news every day. Here it is. We're committing murder on a mass scale, and the press doesn't even talk about it. It's okay. They're Iranians. What do we care? They're not human beings.
Well, we declared war on them, that's for sure. And I think
no. We've never declared war. It takes Congress to declare war. We are on what is the president saying? A little excursion while he's giggling about killing people.
Yeah. I'm not sure I agree with that. I think a lot of people have gone to war, presidents, without. Starting with George Washington, where did he get permission to go invade somebody? So
yeah. So anyway,
I wanted to tell you about Willis and stuff. Besides, I don't need any help fighting with you. I'm like a lawyer. I'm as good as any lawyer at that.
Yeah.
Now, Patty is another story. I'd be scared of her.
Well, me too.
Yeah. You wise off to her.
You should see her face right now. It's as red as a tomato.
Is it really? She mad?
There's some truth to that.
Did I make you mad? Did I make her mad?
I think I recognize truth. That's all.
No. So wait a minute here. Here's an example I want to use, and you rectify yourselves here, because I'm talking about the day in 2020 when we had a skirmish in your property with about 350 or so Black Lives Matter and Antifa, and you both had guns, and you both threatened them with guns.
Well, no, Patty.
So what's the difference between that and some of the other stuff that's going on? Did you have a reason to have did they have guns? You see, you almost Huh?
They did. The difference between the way we held that, the way we performed that day, and the current situation in Iran is, we negotiated with them peacefully, and we reached an agreement, and that is, you leave, or we might have bad things happen. What we're doing in Iran now is we exhaust all our ammunition, and anybody left alive will wait for us to reload. That's the difference.
Okay, but you don't go back and talk about the 1,000 or so United States people that they killed.
Yeah. Well, let's do it this way. Every day on television, the propagandists talk about how Iran's been at war with the United States for 47 years. Well, so I like reality. How many Americans did the Iranians kill last year? None. So let's go back 46. How many did they kill the year before that? None. So now we go back to 45. You got to go all the way back to 1983 to the Beirut barracks bombing, right?
Yeah.
And the USS Cole. But you know why the barracks bombing happened?
Why?
We had the New Jersey, the battleship New Jersey, offshore, lobbing 2,000-pound missiles into the Bekaa Valley, and in retaliation,
where's that at? Where's the Bekaa Valley? Where is that?
In Lebanon.
Okay.
And in retaliation, a Shiite group, which was formed in 1972, I might add, 7 years before the
Muslim
Islamic
Brotherhood,
Republic
wasn't it?
Was founded.
Was it not the Muslim Brotherhood?
Well, it's an entity that existed before the modern state of Iran, so you can't blame Iran for it. Yeah. But I mean, the point is that you have to go all the way back to 1983 to find something where you could. And I heard yesterday, you'll like this, because I think you and I have been talking about this since October 7th. But yesterday I heard that it wasn't Hamas that was responsible for October 7th. It was Iran. All right. And so now we're talking about Iranians committing that atrocity in Israel on October 7th, not Hamas. So why are we attacking Palestine and Gaza if it's really the Iranians?
Where's Palestine?
I'm sorry?
Where's Palestine?
Well, Palestine is what you now call Israel, or the United Nations now calls Israel. But anyway,
they might call it, but it's Israel. Okay.
Yeah, I know. But let's talk about Gaza and the West Bank. If it was really Iran that that did the attack on October the 7th, then why are we committing genocide in Gaza? I mean, you can't redefine who your enemy is to justify a war after it starts.
Okay, I'm sure I've lost somewhere in there. If you're such a brilliant lawyer, that's probably what you were going for, anyways.
No. I'm just hoping at the end of all this I get a free Happy Meal.
Well, I told you, I told you, I bought you lunch.
Yeah, no.
And you after that, I bought you off, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
I
like the Target
what is
show.
it about Donald Trump that you hate now that you used to love?
No, I don't hate Donald Trump. What I do is I think that he is getting really, really bad advice. I think that the people that he's surrounding himself with, they give him a 2 or 3 minute video every morning showing things getting blown up. And that's what he bases, I think, his belief on how the war is going on. But he's got all these people around him like Lindsey Graham. He hated Lindsey Graham. Lindsey Graham was the most anti-never Trumper there was out there. And now they're playing golf together. And, for all I know, Lindsey Graham's going to invite him down to Disneyland so they can shoot bubble guns at each other. Little pink bubble wands at each other. I mean, now
Lindsey Graham is always on Fox News.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I'm not anymore, I can tell you that. But yeah, Lindsey Graham is one of the most bloodthirsty, immoral people you can possibly imagine. All he ever wants is to talk about blood and death, and he loves it. But I think those are the people that are giving the president bad advice. If you listen to the guys that I've listened to and the guys that have been on my radio program back when I had one, who real military leaders like Douglas McGregor, for example, who led the largest tank battle since World War II, people that have actual experience in the Middle East, they're all talking about how difficult / impossible it'll be for a ground war, and how once the Iranians have exhausted the missile defense of Israel and the United States in the Middle East, then they'll just they'll go duck hunting. They'll just lob missiles over with no defenses. I heard yesterday, you correct me if you've heard something different. Now 80% of the drones and missiles that Iran is launching into Israel are hitting the ground, and Tel Aviv, for example, very badly damaged in Haifa, and things are not good in Israel right now.
That's not what the rabbi just told me about 2 hours ago.
Yeah, and so
he said it's a miracle that we have hardly lost anybody. These things seem to be dropping in areas that look like they're busy, and or there are people hurt, and there's been a few killed, but nothing like we thought.
Yeah.
It's another miracle.
Here's the interesting thing, right? Israel's got an absolute complete censorship. Iran, of course, has an absolute complete censorship. So we get our two competing sources of misinformation. And then you throw on top of it AI now. Have you seen all the memes out there on the web where you can't tell what's real and what's not? This is the first AI battle assessment war we've ever seen, where there's no actual information about what's happening on the ground. You got two governments lying to us and AI creating fake information. It is a bizarre thing. And there's no implanted media like there has been in every other war, where you could actually get some footage of what's actually happening, as opposed to,
You're talking about the Iran war right now.
Yeah.
The Israelis are still at war. They're still getting hit by Hamas and by Iran. It's getting slower and slower there, and by Hezbollah, and even the Houthis have attacked them.
And if the Houthis shut down the Red Sea,
rabbi now he's telling me that there's hardly any casualties. You see, there and Israel's not a big area.
No,
it's like New Jersey or something. And
but
they only have about 8 million Jews there.
Yeah.
If that
and now that they're engaged in ethnic cleansing in in Beirut and southern Lebanon.
Who is
the Israeli army? They have forced the population of southern Lebanon out. They're decimating Beirut right now.
Well,
they have declared that there's going to be a buffer zone. I'm sorry.
They were bombed. That the Hezbollah was still there and bombing them from that particular area.
Yeah.
And
so
what are you talking about? Is Israel supposed to not protect itself now?
Well, there's protection and there's acquisition of real estate by force of arms.
If you're on a hill and you got people shooting at you, and they're shooting at civilian sites, by the way, then you go after them. You go after them until they stop, and or you work out a treaty or whatever.
And so let's talk then.
Wait a minute now. Do you agree with that?
We're supposed to have no moral relativism here. So let's talk about the other recent war that we're in, and that's Ukraine versus Russia. Now, Russia felt threatened by Ukraine and felt threatened by the United States wanting to have Ukraine join NATO and put missile defense batteries and offensive weapons in Ukraine. So Russia attacks Ukraine for self-defense. We called that an unprovoked illegal war of aggression against Ukraine. When Israel and the United States engage in an unprovoked war against Iran and now Lebanon because Israel felt threatened, somehow that's not an unprovoked war, an illegal war against for territorial gain. But of course, Israel has declared that it's for territorial gain, that they're going to have a buffer zone in Lebanon.
They had a buffer zone.
Yeah, now they're going to expand it.
They had a buffer zone that they agreed upon, and who were the people that started that war? See, you have a different, whole different fact schedule on your mind. That who started this war on October the 7th?
Well, you and I talked about that from the beginning, and that I think you will agree that could not have happened with either the Israeli government or the IDF either turning a blind eye or encouraging it, because Israel is the most secure, heavily guarded, and heavily surveilled place on the planet. A bunch of guys in hand gliders and mini bikes and pickup trucks aren't going to come in and wreak that kind of devastation and have a 2-hour delay before the IDF gets there.
So are you saying? Yeah, I mean, it does sound unbelievable. I called it on October the 6th.
Yeah.
I told the rabbi, I says, how's your? I did. We have it on the record.
Yeah, you've been very upfront about that every time we've talked about it.
Yeah.
So
okay. And I said to him, I said, I just something ain't right. How's your intel? Oh, it's great, Dave. It's really, it's really good. Now he's not a hack for the government. Okay, he's got a boy in the IDF, for God's sakes. He's a tank guy, and so he's telling me this stuff. I says, well, I just got a bad feeling about stuff, and he says, well, you never know, but we're in pretty good shape. America's behind us. This is Biden, obviously,
Yeah.
and so we don't, we think we're okay. And I says, well, you thought you were okay in I think it was 1972, when Egypt decided to attack you during Yom Kippur. And he says, yeah, I guess, yeah, but we feel pretty good. 6 hours later is when they attacked.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, that was. And are you denying that they killed all these people? Did they make all that stuff up?
Well,
Did you deny that they took hostages, including Americans, and that they killed some Americans as well?
No, I don't know what the number is, but yeah, obviously. But I mean, the point is, it's not that they came in and killed folks and did terrible things. It's that the Israeli government, i.e., Benjamin Netanyahu, may have allowed it to happen for the purposes of retaliating
you got to
against
prove
the
that.
Gazans.
You got to have proof of that. That's an accusation, and it's a rumor, and
it would be given how
you're a lawyer. Give me some proof.
Well, the proof is exactly what you just said, that Israel is the most heavily defended, heavily surveilled place on the planet. It's only 9 million people, but it's got an enormous espionage and defense posture. And then to believe that a whole bunch of kids on mini bikes and hand gliders and pickup trucks can breach their security zone, come in, commit these atrocities, and then have the IDF not respond for hours. It strains credulity.
Okay, so you're suspicious, but you have no proof.
No proof.
Go back to the time Gaza before 2005. Who lived in that property there? Was it just Arabs? Was it just Jews? They lived together there.
Mm-hmm.
What happened in 2005? Do you know?
I don't know. It's before.
I'm going to tell you what happened. They pulled every Jew out of there. They pulled every single Jew out of there, whether they were alive or dead. They almost had a civil war in Israel over that. Aaron Sharon or something like that. Yeah, he did this as the prime minister. They were going to give him the demanded for land they wanted. And what did they do? They took that. They elected Hamas. And they started building tunnels under hospitals, under what you're talking about with the boat in Iran. They started putting children on top of these in schools and in hospitals and the whole thing, and attacking from underneath. Okay, this is what they did for 20 years. Not 20, about 17 years. Okay, and so what happened was, now all of a sudden, hostages become a big deal, and they got money every time they settled. It was like a dance, all right. And so when it came to when it came to the people getting the Gaza straightened out, when it came to them figuring out that with hostages they could make a lot of money. That's when they had hostages in I can't remember where. They had hostages in some country captured captured these hostages, and they were worth $1.5 billion each.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was going to surrender myself over there because I could use that money, right?
Oh yeah, you're going to go fight him for that, right?
Yeah.
You're going to be the money didn't go to the hostages.
Damn darn. So let's assume everything you say is true.
Okay.
Why does the United States care? Why should the Israel government is powerful against?
Well, they're the only ally they have in that area. Number one, number two, Israel. Every time they get money from the U.S., they spend it on stuff in the U.S. They help U.S. with intel, as you mentioned. They do have good intel. How that happened, I don't know.
Yeah.
I wonder myself.
So
But,
think about
all right, I got 1 minute to go.
Think about what you just said.
1 minute to go. We're not fighting yet. That damn it. 1 minute to go.
1 minute to go. All right. This is Dave. This is the highlight of my week. I got to tell you, every Friday it's the best thing going all week. So I really enjoy it.
You owe me
and by the way, you owe me an apology, because last time around, not only did you have a surprise guest, but you accused me of being an anti-Semite. And as I said to you on the phone earlier this week, never in my life have I said anything opposing either the religion or the race of the Jews. Only their political policies as it affects the United States.
We're not a race.
Yeah.
We're not a race.
Well, wait a second. I thought you were a race.
We're not a race. See there, you just insulted me. Thank you. All right. I'm going to have
be a
to go.
racist. There you go.
Thank you. Thank you, Patty. A lot of fun. I'll come in. You can buy me dinner someday, okay?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
All right. Look at that. We're
Take
not
care, Dave.
terrible. All right. I'll be back next week with another edition of Dave Weinbaum Show.